Welcome to the club.
My club are mental, aren't they?
21 is coming. You're chatting gas.
Embarrassing.
Off, ref!
Most toxic fan base in the world are Arsenal.
Liverpool, the worst champions ever. Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome back to the club, brought to you by Super 6 with myself, Adam McKola. We've got Buvey over there, and in the middle, sweating on Chelsea's European spot tonight is Rory Jennings. Real Madrid against Chelsea at the Santiago Bernabeu, quarterfinals of the Champions League. The Champions League is special. It makes you feel special. Rory, how are you feeling ahead of this game?
Weirdly confident.
It is weird.
Weirdly confident. I truly believe that we can do something special, and I think loads of people will already be sneering at me. Loads of people will already be saying that it's ridiculous. Basically, when Chelsea play Real Madrid, we're brilliant. That's historic.
You've lost 1 out of 7 or 8?
One out of 7, and even last year when they knocked us out of the cup, I'd say that. So we played them. They were we played 4 quarters. 3 of the 4 we were the best. Do you know what I mean? Like, we played 2 games.
You did go out though, right?
Yeah, we went out, but we took the game to them away.
They did that last season, didn't they? They did that to us and you and even Liverpool, arguably.
Yeah, to beat Real Madrid.
Side.
Mate, remember as well, Marcos Alonso had a goal disallowed in the Bernabeu that was going to put us what? What would that have put us? 4-0 up?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, if that...
Werner scored.
Werner had a very good game. Like, I think that this is
Crazy.
what happens with Chelsea. Like, and this goes back, like, 71. And, you know, people like to do the no history thing at Chelsea. 1971, that's before Liverpool had won any European silverware. In 71, Chelsea went to Athens and beat Real Madrid in the Cup Winners' Cup final. So, you know, we planted our flag in Europe prior to Liverpool. It's not me, you know, I'm aware that it wasn't the European Cup. I'm aware that Liverpool are a European behemoth. But it's still significant. And Chelsea, the point I'm trying to make here is that Chelsea, as a club, elevate. You know, some clubs get swallowed up by Europe. Maybe Arsenal, you could make the case, get swallowed up by Europe. Maybe Man City, at times, have been swallowed up by Europe. And other clubs really do, like, push back, really do, fight. And I think Chelsea have a very proud record of doing that.
When Chelsea have won the European Cups in the past, obviously the first time they won it, it was a team that was sitting 10th or 11th in the table, but they had the spine of a winning team. When they won it with Tuchel, you know, he just came in. Lampard had just left, I think. Yeah. He was a great coach, and that's the thing that I think they're missing here. They haven't got the team that can, you know, go back to old winning ways. Like, let's say they could in 2011.
I know what you're saying.
And they haven't got the coach that has got European pedigree or nous, I think, to be able to do it this time.
Okay. What effectively you're saying is that the team in 2012, for example, that finished that year 6th, were full of, like, international superstars.
Yeah.
So the spine of that team
was a great team.
Czech, Terry, Lampard, Drogba.
Yeah.
That's the best spine that Chelsea have ever had. And therefore, you're right, you can kind of fall back on that. But I would say that this team do have, like, a lot of these players, an awful lot of these players, have won a European Cup a couple of years ago. Like, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. It feels like there aren't the winners. Like, even players like John Obi Mikel was clearly a winner. Yeah. Jose Bosingwa, who you wouldn't identify as being... Jose Bosingwa had won the European Cup before. David Luiz, Gary Cahill, they were sort of iconic in their own way. This team feels slightly more flimsy.
Right. Let's have a look at the 11s, because you mentioned the team there. Chelsea's 11 is Kepa in goal, Koulibaly, Thiago Silva, Fofana, Chilwell, Reece James are your wing backs, Kovacic, Enzo, and N'Golo Kante.
That's huge.
That's amazing.
That's the point.
With Raheem Sterling and João Felix up top. Real Madrid's team consists of Courtois in goal, Carvajal, Militao, Alaba, Camavinga playing in a weird position today, Valverde, Cruz, Modric, Rodrigo, Benzema, and Vinicius.
God, them boys are going to have the game of their life to get something out of this today.
Your lineup, all gas aside, your lineup.
Oh, you're talking about Real Madrid, okay?
Yeah. They're going to have the game of their life. Camavinga at left back, yeah? Going to have the game of his life.
But I look at that lineup, wow, that is seriously impressive.
It's a good team, isn't it?
Fofana's been decent in recent weeks. Thiago Silva, Kante,
do you know
Kovacic.
What's a shame? Do you know what's a shame, Booth? We've been slightly hamstrung by a weird Graham Potter decision, which was to not include Badiashile in our European Cup team.
But does he start tonight?
No, because he's not included.
No, does he? Would he have started?
No, maybe not. Where he would start, Badiashile would play.
Ahead
where
of
he would
So he wouldn't play.
Fofana starts ahead of him.
Thiago Pavard, Koulibaly.
I don't think he starts just because of youth, but I know what you're trying to say.
No,
I'm just trying to say the experience.
I think
of
that
this Chelsea side is
Badiashile,
amazing.
there would have to be a place for Badiashile in the team. How we would accommodate him, I'm not entirely sure, but he's probably been our best
Even
defender.
Reece James, best right back in the world for me on his day. He is.
On his day, his
I
form
think
has been...
Camavinga's positioning's interesting. I think that's to counteract Reece James, you know. If he kind of sits in that position where Reece James will be pushing into, then you're asking Modric, Kroos to do less work in terms of tracking those kind of runs from Reece James. And it means they can focus on getting forward a little bit more.
Yeah, I think that's possibly true. I just think that if you look at this Chelsea team, overall what we've got here is clearly a really good team. Like personnel, player for player, there's an awful lot of skilled footballers in there who are totally capable and experienced enough to go to the Bernabeu and get a positive result. What we haven't had until recently is a coach capable of doing it. A coach capable, and like, even if you make this not necessarily about managerial acumen, tactical acumen, if you just make it about stature, Graham Potter doesn't belong on the touchline of the Champions League, let alone the touchline of the Bernabeu.
Yeah.
Frank Lampard does. There's a belonging.
Frank Lampard doesn't.
Frank Lampard belongs there.
He belongs there as much as Gary Neville did as Valencia manager.
Yeah, but I think, say Steven Gerrard was managing in the European Cup. That makes sense to me. Graham Potter managing there makes no sense to me.
As an interim, it does. In a cup tournament, it does. It's a bit like Louis van Gaal for the Dutch for the World Cup. I know he's past his prime, but it made sense. It made kind of short term.
No. But Louis van Gaal is a great coach.
I know, but you know what I'm trying to say. In tournament football,
Frank Lampard has never been a great coach.
But Chelsea haven't given this guy a 4-year contract. This is not a long term approach. All they've got to hang their hat on this season is potentially winning a Champions League. I think they could.
We didn't see a reaction against Wolves though. And look,
you're right.
I could look stupid tonight.
That was purposeful. We were lulling in Carlo Ancelotti. We were lulling Ancelotti into a full sense
for me. Even a 0-0, keep it tight, whatever. But
it was a great goal for Wolves, to be fair.
Yeah,
it was
mate,
phenomenal.
He turned into Marco van Basten.
It was beautiful. It looked so good.
But do you know what? In a good way or in a bad way, I don't know. And I genuinely ask you both this question. Say Chelsea had beaten Wolves 5-0. I would potentially say that's not relevant to this game. And say Chelsea had lost 5-0. I would also say that is potentially not relevant. Remember, Chelsea didn't play the formation that we're playing here, which arguably was a mistake. You could already say maybe Lampard should have played the formation that he intends to replicate in the Bernabeu at the Molineux. Maybe that would make sense or maybe he was experimenting. Maybe he was giving people a run out, giving certain players an opportunity.
But
to
the thing
see how
for
it
me
goes
is we
ahead of this
didn't
game.
see a reaction. We didn't see a reaction.
We
to
might have
his
lost
voice
5-0
in
though
it.
if Potter was still there. So maybe we did.
Exactly.
Maybe.
Honestly, but it's not even a joke. And the thing with Real Madrid are the interesting one. If it was Inter Milan or a lesser side in terms of form and quality, but Real Madrid, they were worse than PSG last season in the knockouts, and they went through. They were worse than us. I know. Even Liverpool had good moments. So this Real Madrid side, they can look terrible. Chelsea might get moments today.
No. This is the problem. There isn't. Real Madrid are the best team in the world at the moment at this.
Yeah, the Champions League
at
knockout.
At exactly this. This is a very specific. Like I know that Barcelona are going to win the league, and I know that player for player, Man City are better than them. But at this exact science, Ancelotti and Real Madrid are the best in the world.
I rewatched the game. I don't know if you lads watched the City Real Madrid game from last season.
What, when Grealish
I've never decided to rewatch Man City.
All right, fair enough, mate. But I do it for the love of
I
football.
can't believe that you rewatched that.
I rewatched
mate, I don't
Man
ever
United
rewatch defeats. Ever.
I rewatched Man
I've
United
never seen
games.
those Champions League finals
mate,
again.
As if I'm going to sit there and watch Moscow 08. Yeah, I've got a great night ahead.
rewatched Newcastle 2, United 0 from last week. That was a great result for Newcastle. No, but all guys, I watched it just because of the goals that they scored. I thought Real Madrid scored some unbelievable goals out of nowhere. So they can do it at any moment.
Which is what they are totally capable of.
Actually, I have seen a Man City game that I watch a lot. Is that remember that Spurs one in the Champions League? I remember
Sterling.
I remember watching that video over and over. That was pretty funny, to be fair. And that one where Mahrez missed a penalty and you were doing a vlog.
Oh, that was great. That's one of my favourite ever moments. One of the best things.
He goes to Dublin, wins a bit of cash. Look at it.
Do you know when you think about some of the best things that have ever happened at Anfield, like some of the best nights. Like obviously Arsenal fans would have a contribution. Arsenal would have a contribution to the best thing that's ever happened at Anfield. Some of the most iconic moments: the Robbie Fowler really quick hat trick, Andreas Chavez scoring goals, Steven Gerrard's rocket against Olympiacos, that game against Dortmund. My favourite's him.
Yeah.
In the whole history
I don't know what you're on about.
You know exactly what I'm on about.
I think we should look forward, lads. That's just how my mindset philosophically is. We look forward, and we are looking forward to a great game. Hopefully, Chelsea get battered 8-0. That's what I'm looking forward to, lads. Is what it is.
Pathetic. That was pathetic. You're a bit ashamed by that, aren't you?
I do think Real Madrid battered them today.
Yeah,
I'm going fours.
They don't.
I'm going fours.
They don't. Chelsea don't get battered in Europe. Like base this on some sort of base this on something concrete. Chelsea don't get battered in Europe. You do. We don't get battered in Europe. When do we get battered? Who batters us? Give me one example of us.
I remember when
I can think of
Falcao, Atletico Madrid.
Super Cup weren't in this competition. Bad luck, unlucky,
well,
embarrassing.
Counts. It's the winners of the Champions League.
It wasn't in this competition.
The winners of the Champions League.
It wasn't in this competition. I honestly can't think. I can think of us battering teams. I can think of us scoring, going to Galatasaray and winning 5-0, going to Lazio and winning 4-0. I can think of us doing it, but I honestly can't think of us being battered ever.
Clip this. Just get these ready for the highlight show later when we've got Rory saying, we've never been battered.
There's nothing quite like this, though. Do you know I've been so superstitious today? I haven't had a shave. You noticed?
Yeah, we did notice.
In Munich, I didn't have a shave. This is the top I wore in 21 when Chelsea beat Man City. I haven't worn it since.
What, on the live stream we did?
Oh, yeah, I was with you.
You wore that? I don't remember that.
I was with you. This is exactly what I wore. I know 100% this is exactly what I wore. I haven't had a shave.
I knew where Buvey's mind went.
No, but I can't. But
I haven't had a shave since I haven't had a shave because I didn't shave in 2012 because obviously I was in Germany. I was going to the game. I didn't have a shave. So I'm not shaving today. This top was worn when Chelsea won number 2. We're on the way to number 3 and I thought I'd dig this out of retirement.
We're on a white dressing gown. What,
I thought I'd dig this out of retirement. Mate, nothing.
Oh, God.
Mate, superstition means that, like, if Chelsea weren't going to win, I've now not had a shave and I've got the lucky top on, so it's in the bag.
100%.
Yeah. And by the way, guys, we are again sponsored by the lovely people at NordVPN. NordVPN.com/the club for all your exclusive offers. Remember, you get a 30-day money-back guarantee as well on the best VPN service about. Rory, you've been using it.
I love it.
Been using it.
I love it. I didn't realise how much I needed a VPN in my life until I now have one. Like, I didn't have a VPN. I didn't really have any understanding of what it did. Now I have one. Thanks to Nord, it's revolutionised my personality and my life. It's so good. I cannot recommend it highly enough. Make sure that you head over to NordVPN/the club.
And people probably think Rory's, just saying this because it's an ad. He's really not saying it, and it really has changed his life because he didn't have a clue what one was before. Now, some of you guys sitting at home, you probably know already what one is. But if you don't, a VPN allows you to use the internet whilst not giving away some of your information, some of that security information, if you will. And also, it allows you to surf the internet and pretend you're in other countries. So, for example, at the weekend, I was away in Ireland. I was playing poker. I needed to watch the football. I wanted to know what was going on with Manchester United. I couldn't get onto Virgin Media because I've got the UK account and all those kind of things. So what did I have to do? Use a VPN. And I was able to sit there while I was playing poker and catch up with Manchester United's win over Everton. So I thought that was a great little,
No, it's great.
It came into effect.
The fact that you can watch football when otherwise perhaps you wouldn't be able to watch the football. You can get some fantastic commentary as well. That's what I didn't realise. Like, we're so unlucky here.
You love the Arabic commentary, don't you? It's amazing.
Do you know what I was watching?
Passionate.
Do you know what I was genuinely, via NordVPN, do you know what I was watching? Robbie Earl. Insightful stuff on that programme. It was really good.
Yeah.
Robbie, do you know who else it was? It was Robbie Earl and Robbie Mustoe. Do you remember? He played for Middlesbrough.
The two Robbies.
You remember Robbie?
They go as, don't they?
No, not two Ronnies.
Robbies. They go as.
Oh, what do they call
Robbies.
themselves?
Yeah,
I was just watching. I didn't know that they had a brand. I just had Robbie Earl. It was a great show. It really was fantastic. And do you know what else?
We're not advertising any other show, by the way.
No.
Stay with the club,
the point
please.
The point of this is NordVPN. So yeah, make sure that you check it out. The link is in the description below. And it is so good. It's so affordable. It is comparable to the price of a cup of coffee. Make sure that you check it out. The link is in the description below.
Thank you, Nord.
Absolutely beautiful, lads.
Yeah,
What
well
can I
done.
say?
Yeah, Buvey, you don't even have to say anything else.
I know.
Give me your score prediction for Real Madrid against Chelsea.
I'll be respectful. I'll say 4-0 Real Madrid.
I'm going 4-0 as well.
Yeah.
I think you boys are going to get your
I think if you score, you're lucky today. if Chelsea scored today.
In fact, you're lucky to go back to Stamford Bridge with a 1 or 2 goal deficit today.
And if you do going back with a 1 goal deficit would be a victory.
That's a victory.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a victory.
That's a victory for any Chelsea team. Not like that's a victory for anyone.
For a team led
That'd be
by
a great
Frank
result.
Lampard.
That'd be a great
I genuinely
result.
can't believe he's back. It's like us bringing Ralph Ragnick
It's
back.
fantastic. No, it isn't.
It's mental.
It's like you bringing.
Exactly
it's
is. It
surely it's
exactly
more.
is.
Surely it's more.
It's like you like bringing
surely it's
Stuart
more-
Pearce back.
It's got to
It's
be.
like you like bringing Stuart Pearce back. It's like you bringing
He's
Stuart
not
Pearce
their
back.
best.
Joe
No,
Royle.
he's our best.
Cutting his
ever
own
player.
hair on
Like
the
Joe
sideline.
Royle or something like that. Or,
Frank Lampard is our best ever player. Frank Lampard is.
Yeah.
But he's
as
not
our-
your
it's like
best
you
ever
bringing
manager.
Giggsy back or Carrick back when
Yeah.
they had
Solskjaer back.
injuries. It's like
Solskjaer done better than Lampard. He finished second.
Uh,
He finished second in the
Actually,
league.
he didn't-
Solskjaer's a
didn't
better
do that.
manager
finished
than
second and
Lampard.
third in the
He's
league.
not. Of course he didn't.
Yes,
Wait,
he
I'm
did.
not even trying
It's
to-
like us bringing Solskjaer back.
Frank Lampard. Remember, like just to
It's
people want to highlight
embarrassing,
what he
bruv. Your
did
club's
badly.
an embarrassment.
Okay,
James
let's
Corden
highlight
got on the phone to Todd
I'm surprised
Bowley.
he's not playing
Yeah.
centre forward. By the way,
James Corden got on the phone to
Chelsea's
Todd
front
Bowley.
three: Joao Felix, Raheem Sterling, James Corden.
Yeah, it's embarrassing, bro. Your club's run by James Corden, bro.
Mate,
How embarrassing is
There's
that?
no way that
You
Frank
lot are
Lampard isn't a
pathetic.
better manager than
James Corden. Of course, of course,
No,
of
than
course
Ole
it's
Gunnar
not.
Solskjaer. Frank Lampard took Chelsea,
nonsense.
took Chelsea's youth team to the European Cup last 16.
Yeah.
We had no team, bro. We had McTominay and Fred and finished second.
Is something. He's
We finished
managing a very
second with
difficult
McTominay
league.
and Fred.
Solskjaer's not managing a difficult
Mate,
league like
it was
that.
Chelsea's youth
Championship
team.
Oi.
It was Chelsea's youth team. Remember,
What
Reece James-
Solskjaer done in Norway is better than anything.
No.
Frank
Oh,
Lampard
shut
done in
up!
Norway.
You can't stop bringing Norway into
What's the
this.
furthest the Norwegian side's got in Europe in the last 10 years?
Mate,
I don't
they
care.
didn't even qualify for the
You
World
don't
Cup.
care.
They
I
didn't even
don't
qualify
care.
for the World
Exactly.
Cup.
What do you mean?
Doesn't
You
matter.
can't just say you don't care when you're in the middle of a heated debate.
What? Say something about them not qualifying for the World Cup.
What do you mean?
About Norway not qualifying for the
Yeah,
World
they
Cup.
didn't.
Yeah, why? Because you're a useless lump of a strikers up front.
Mate,
Oh, 45
hang on.
goals.
Frank Lampard, remember, Chelsea for 4 years had a situation
Solskjaer's
where
better than Frank Lampard.
all we
This
did
is
was give the ball to Eden
This is
Hazard,
stupid.
right? Eden Hazard, he'll make it work.
Yeah.
Suddenly, Eden Hazard has been sold. Chelsea have a transfer ban. Chelsea have no option but to bring through all these kids.
Yeah.
Tammy Abraham never played in the Premier League. Mason Mount never played in the Premier League. Reece James never played in the Premier League. That team got into the Champions League, got to the FA Cup final, and got to the last 16 of the Champions
So,
League.
all right, let's just say-
Chelsea's youth team got to
Let's
the
pick,
quarter final.
let's pick an average side
Ollie
in the
finished
Premier League,
second.
an average side mid-table. Let's
Ollie
say
finished
Fulham.
second.
Fulham,
Yeah,
right?
that's a
Decent
wrap.
money. Solskjaer or Lampard to manage Fulham next season
Solskjaer.
to get them as high as they
Solskjaer.
can.
No, because that's Solskjaer's level. Frank Lampard needs to be strutting his stuff. Yeah, no, Frank. Yeah, you're right.
You can't
Well,
change the
that's-
narrative.
Frank Lampard strut his
Mate,
stuff
he'd be
there.
lucky
He's
to
not
be at
one to
Fulham.
If Ole
that.
Gunnar
He'd be lucky
Solskjaer's
to
so
be at
good,
Fulham.
when did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer manage a team in the Bernabeu?
Yeah, because your man here keeps falling up.
Why Frank Lampard is currently strutting his stuff whilst Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's sitting at home eating
Plus,
pasta.
Solskjaer's not been rehired. That's worrying for him. He's not been
Not
hired by
worrying
anyone.
for me is correct.
Yeah.
Do you remember when the Tory party were like, let's bring back Boris Johnson? This is effectively what Chelsea have done.
But that never
They were
happened.
like,
That's the
let's
difference.
bring
It didn't
back,
happen.
let's bring
They
back
were
Boris.
wise enough
They
not
brought
to
back
do that.
Boris.
Do you know what I mean? They were wise
They
enough
brought
not
back
to do
Boris.
that.
You lot brought back Boris, and his name's Frank Lampard. They're both exactly the same.
Mate, when we win tonight, this is going to be so
Useless
embarrassing
leader.
for you too. If it's going to
You're
be
not
so
gonna
embarrassing
win
for the
tonight.
pair of you.
Don't
We will
bring
win.
me into this.
By the way,
I say there's a small chance that you win this.
Solskjaer beat
I'd be
PSG
backing
as
your
well.
lineup.
And your
You said
man here is
4-0.
going to get beat
Huh?
up.
You said 4-0.
I said it could be potentially 4-0.
No, you asked to predict the game. You said 4-0.
Read between the lines, Rory. Not everything's
You were
literal,
asked
mate.
to predict the game.
I'm not a
You said
literal
4-0.
person. I have an expansive vocabulary. I think it could have been 4-0.
No,
Okay? Could
you
be
don't
4-0.
have a good vocabulary.
I do.
You use words like gas and stuff a lot. Like you don't have a good vocabulary. What you don't have is a good. Like
I'm
I'd
not
say,
Shakespearean like you. I'm sorry. I'm
I'd
sorry.
say-
I never trained at the
I'd say
Royal
that-
Thespian Society.
I'd say that
like
you have
did.
you
Sorry.
have I don't know 50-word.
I'm not in the
repertoire?
British Guild of Actors for being on the bill. I'm sorry. I'm not,
All right,
I'm not,
Rory.
I'm not in that.
50 words.
You think you're going to win so much.
2-1.
Let's have a little wager. Yeah, me against you.
Okay.
Real Madrid's going to smash you up today.
You just say they win, so I get the draw. So Chelsea
Oh.
win or draw is mine.
Yeah.
Okay, and you want to do this?
What you want to do?
£500.
Let's go. All right. $5 on it.
Look at the
Okay.
money at this end of the
If
table.
I get money out of Rory, even if I win this,
So the
it's
draw
back
is
covered.
mine. So not only are Chelsea going to win, but I'm going to be rich. It's a good day. It's a good day at the office, mate.
It is not.
Mate, you shouldn't have bothered competing in the poker in Dublin. You're giving me all your winnings. Spent a week in
Can I give
Dublin.
it you in euros? Is that all right?
Yeah, 600. Mate, this is what it's all about, though,
Shit,
isn't it?
now I really need Real Madrid to
This
win.
is what it's all about.
Ah.
The European Cup, this is just the dream. This is the point. What about you lot last night? That was a joke.
Well, I felt it a little bit. It was one of the most complete performances I've ever seen in Europe. To beat Bayern that way was special. You know, Rodri's first goal
from
Diaz.
they were about to score.
Yeah.
Was it Musiala?
Musiala's
that
left
challenge.
And then seconds later, you go and score.
Yeah.
That was a huge
Heroic.
Do you know what?
huge
As good as you were, and you were, like, don't get me wrong, it was a complete performance. And you know, as ruthless as you were going forward, it wasn't quite as one-sided a game as the scoreline makes it look. Like, I thought Bayern were in it for about 70 minutes.
You're right. And that's, as a City fan, I can't give you too many examples, for obvious reasons, about where, you know, the great sides in Europe nick a 3-0 out of nowhere. Like,
Yeah.
we talk about Real Madrid in a similar fashion, getting a couple of goals against in South Germany. We might lose to Madrid in the semi-final. I'm not saying we're going to win the Champions League, but
You'd never
do
got a
that
better
against
chance,
Bayern
though.
Munich,
Yeah.
and potentially have a weaker draw in the final. With all due respect to Napoli and Inter Milan, got through. You know, Lukaku scoring in the quarterfinals of the Champions
Yeah,
League.
whoever gets into the final from our side of the group goes into the final as favourites.
Yeah, I mean, Napoli's the real
Man away.
but
Napoli
Napoli
is
are the one.
scuppered by Osimhen's picked up an injury, so
He'll
he's
be
not
fit- he'll
available
be fit for
tonight.
the return
I don't
leg,
think
apparently.
they got battered off AC Milan 4-0
Yeah,
without some of their key players.
Yeah.
Not having Osimhen's huge for them.
or Simeone
If they
as
take
well.
a beating, I also think, you know, like when City come up against Real Madrid, really City should be by far and away the favourites. But you'd almost put it as evens with Real Madrid because of their history in the competition. I kind of do the same with Napoli and AC Milan.
Yeah, I
Oh,
agree.
really,
I
yeah.
agree. Yeah, I
Do
think
you
that's...
think AC Milan are going to go through tonight?
I think not tonight, but I think they possibly
Well,
go
you know.
through. Yeah, I think they possibly go through.
Yeah, I don't think that's that wild. Mate, heritage counts. It really
does,
does.
it does,
And it counts in this
Football,
competition.
definitely.
And it counts in this competition more than anything.
It's taken us 10 years to get to the point where at the Etihad yesterday, it felt inevitable we were going to score a couple of goals.
But it's the same in every competition. Like, you know, when Arsenal have had some rather drab teams in recent years, Arsenal haven't been a good Premier League team, and you would always assume Man City beat them home and away in the league. When they play each other in the FA Cup, Arsenal invariably win because the heritage. You know, they've won it 13 times, haven't they? That trophy. It's significant and it counts, and the FA Cup is something that they have an affinity with.
Yep.
That's why it matters to. I was about to try and make a point in Chelsea's favour, but we were playing Real Madrid, which is a bit annoying because they've also got the heritage. But that's why you've struggled in the past.
Who would you if you do get through and it was still 0-0 Bayern Munich Man City? Who would you rather have in the semi-final?
No, it's terrible news for us what you've done. You're through.
Because of how
You're
how good we look.
No, we're just so familiar. We needed
Yeah.
to play partly because of how
Chelsea
good you
got a
look.
chance against City though. It's
City
the
have beaten us,
familiarity.
City have
though.
beaten us 3 times already this season.
Yeah.
Having Lampard as well don't help. Bro.
Mate, he's one of the best players to have ever played for their club. I'm surprised they ain't built statues for him.
Scored a great goal against you lot.
Yeah,
didn't he?
because he scores great goals against
Celebrate.
everyone.
Did he celebrate it?
No,
No, to be fair to him.
no. But some Chelsea fans did, which was really weird.
It was an unbelievable finish, near post, out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I don't know how he scored it.
Schürrle scored, didn't he, first for us? We went 1-0 up. Schürrle, I think.
Probably because he wasn't trying to score and it accidentally went in.
No, it
One
was
of
a
them
real
ones that you-
good finish.
He's just a great player, Lampard.
Didn't want
Real
to
good.
score.
It was a ridiculous finish.
But no, it's terrible news. I think now that Man City are through, like I don't think it's a competitive game going over there. There's nothing that can happen to make that good news. And I think it's terrible news for everyone, by the way, what happened there. Terrible news for you because you
I
have
think
this...
Real Madrid do.
No, but the Bayern tie at least.
Yeah,
it's over.
I did kind of half think Bayern had a chance.
No, it's over. I thought they were going to win.
Yeah.
In fact, we both
put
thought they were
Bayern
going to.
through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We both thought they were going to win. But no, it's terrible news. It's terrible news for Arsenal. It's terrible news for Chelsea. It's terrible news for Man United because Man United are on course for a collision, an all Mancunian collision in the Cup. Arsenal were obviously on collision in the Premier League, and Chelsea wanted to avoid Man City in the European Cup. So no, it's a disaster. It really is a
I
disaster.
still don't put City. I know everyone will, and I understand why, and I kind of get it. You've got the best coach,
best
in
players,
the competition. You got the best players in the
best
competition.
bench, best
I still
team.
put Real
best...
Madrid as the favourites, man.
Oh, I'm not confident.
Yeah, I agree with that. But you don't actually think there's any way that Bayern come back, do you?
No.
That's over.
I
Yeah,
think that's
I agree.
over.
No,
And that's over.
I think the only difference is that I think this City side are very good at bouncing back. You know, when the disappointment of losing to Spurs, for example, the VAR moment, we talked about it earlier. We go to Spurs in the exact same fixture in the Premier League and win 1-0 and win 13, 14 games in a row in the Premier League. So we overcome disappointment very easily with Guardiola because he's the best coach in the world. So I think the Real Madrid game last season, there'll be a lot of players, Jack Grealish in particular. Look how he's kicked on the last 12
It's been
months.
amazing.
You know, he
That
was
was huge for your
unbelievable
title
last
race
night.
as well. That,
Mate, he's
win.
one of the best sort of defenders on the pitch.
He worked so hard.
Like, you know that Upa McKola, obviously he lost all sense.
He was playing really well up until that.
Yeah.
Upamecano.
Yeah.
I mean,
He was all
He
right.
had like
No,
a
but he
10,
lost his
15
head
minutes where he made
completely.
2 big mistakes. But what I'm trying to say is that happens to players.
Not at that
Not in
level.
not
I
in
thought he
that,
played
not in
well.
that game either. But
until that
what
point.
about Grealish and putting the press in, winning the ball, then playing the back heel? Obviously, Haaland did really well for that as well, like showing a. You know what you said about his lack of overall play at times. In that situation, Grealish with a back heel, Haaland sort of faked the shot, inch perfect pass.
Build up play. He's literally.
I think if you look
perfect.
at the goal as well that Haaland scored, I think it shows you that they're getting used to the way he wants to play. Usually you go direct to a strike. They kind of just hung it in an area for him to just, we'll be
No,
there
he's picked him
eventually.
out there, don't you think?
Yeah, yes, but what I mean is like instead of going direct
more
to the
deliberate.
runner,
It's more
they've
deliberate.
hung it deliberately because they know Haaland's going to hang.
We're
and he's
doing
gonna
that
get there. He's
less.
got
At the
that
start
hang
of the
time,
season,
you
it
know what
was we played Forest. I remember we looped it in about 20 times in the game.
He's some
I think
player,
Adam's
little
right.
Bernardo Silva.
His
man.
focus.
I mean? Bernardo was
It
amazing.
blows my mind
Bernardo,
that Bernardo
Grealish,
Silva.
Ruben Diaz. I mean, Rodri last night was unbelievable.
I thought Bayern Munich were very good as well, you know.
they looked like a
They
good
were
side.
I
good
thought
for a
Bayern
bit.
Munich were really
Yeah.
good in the way they played when they had the ball, attacking. I just thought Rodri was amazing with some of the tackles he was making.
Yeah, I didn't like Thomas Tuchel's
John
comment.
Stones was unbelievable.
Tuchel came out and said something like, "Well, it was an impossible goal. If you give it to the number 6 and he scores, what are you meant to do?" This is Champions League football. I wouldn't bemoan, Goretzka scoring
No,
a
but
30-yard goal.
managers say that.
I know.
Is he
does,
not
but
being-
It's like what your man said the other day when he goes, "Oh, the XG on that goal."
No,
it's
I know. But it's
something a manager
the way
said, you know what I
Tuchel
mean?
came out, I just thought. I'm not saying he's got to defend City. Of course not. He's a Bayern Munich
Is there not
manager,
something
but I
very
just
complimentary
can't
about
stand
saying
it.
that, though?
No, because he made out as if Bayern Munich were our equals, and I don't think they were. I think we beat them fair and square 3-0.
When did the
stopped
first
Bayern
goal go in?
Um,
Was it like half an hour?
about half. I think 35 minutes.
I thought
maybe,
the first 35 minutes, it was an even game.
We limited Bayern Munich.
Maybe
to
you
not
wanted
have-
them to do that.
Bayern Munich didn't have a shot on target for the first time in knockout football in about 4 or 5 years. In the first half of football, they didn't have a shot on target in the first half.
Do you think they've made an error getting rid of Nagelsmann? Like
He had an incredible record in Europe.
yeah, well, he hadn't lost.
hadn't
had
They
he?
won
conceded.
every single game,
They
and they
hadn't
smashed
conceded.
PSG. They'd won every single
And they
game.
hadn't conceded.
They hadn't played Man City either. Though.
But they played PSG.
Yeah, but PSG
After
are
last
shambolic.
night, I think there's a point to that. Before that, I think Thomas Tuchel gives them a boost. That's a
Yeah, but you know
that's
he's
the
lost.
weird thing
They've gone
about
out. They've gone out the cup as well.
football. Yeah, they lost to Freiburg.
I thought they were really good, man. I know they lost 3-0, but I thought they were really good. Maybe I'm wrong.
I think you're being.
They missed a
touch.
striker.
You can't, I
Yeah,
don't think
they
you can
missed
be
a striker.
really good and lose 3-0, can you?
Maybe they
Like,
could have
like,
reacted
it's a-
differently.
you
And I
know
was
what you're
surprised to
sounding
see Mane starting
You'd
a
be
bench.
very good friends with Graham Potter.
Well,
with
they
that
had a
By the
fight
way,
with
have you
Sane,
heard about
Sane
that?
and Mane. Yeah.
Apparently Mane has twatted Sane, made him bleed in the dressing room.
Mane versus Sane.
Yeah. Who you got?
Mane, I reckon.
Mane.
Because he doesn't
Mane's hard.
looks like he
Mane's hard,
doesn't
isn't
talk too much.
No, Sane's soft. Sane's
Stick it on
I
you.
saw it. See, not soft in a bad way, but Mane in a fight. Yeah,
I wouldn't
every
be
day of the week.
surprised to see
You can't
Mane
be soft
leaving
in a
Bayern
good
Munich.
way, though, can you?
No,
You
but
can't go, he's not soft in a. He's not soft in a bad
He's not soft
way.
in a footballing sense. He's a physical.
I reckon
player,
Mane
but,
ends
in a
up
fight,
somewhere
it's
like
different.
Real Madrid or something next season.
Oh, the boys! Look at that! My kings, my
While-
heroes.
while Rory-
Lampard
Rory-
and Ancelotti embracing on the touchline at the Bernabeu. I don't think I've ever been more full. I don't think my heart has ever been more
Your
content.
pants have never been more full.
I just adore them.
While Rory absolutely, I don't know what he's doing to himself about Frank Lampard and Carlo Ancelotti on the sidelines. And just before halftime, remember this show is brought to you by Super 6. Thank you to Super 6 for sponsoring us here at the club. And can I say, well done to the winner of the Super 6 round, Ryan Jenkins, who came top of the league with 22 points and will now get that £100 classic football shirt voucher. Congratulations, Ryan. Super 6 will be in touch with you to arrange your prize.
I have to say, in the previous stream, obviously, Adam, you weren't here. Rory and I were trying to get the numbers up. We got to get these numbers up, lads. We got to beat Pitch Side. We got to beat all these
Lads
other
and
guys.
ladies, we're not discriminating. we
and
want
ladies.
you all in our Super
And
6
any mums
group.
out there, mums and aunties watching as well, the Club S6 on the
hey,
Super 6 app.
actually-
Please join. We're trying to boost the numbers, lads. Boost the
Actually,
numbers.
Mums and that love things like
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
don't they? You know, a little free attempt at winning something. Like mums love it. They play the lottery all the time, a little pound on the lottery.
Fundable.
Tell your mum to download the
Yeah.
Super 6 app and join our league, Club S6. All they've got to do is predict 6 scorelines every round. If you nail those 6 scorelines, you win £250,000. It's so
What are we
easy.
on now, lads?
And if you finish top of our league like Ryan did, you get £100 classic football shirts voucher every single round. So you got loads of ways you can win. It's an incredible league.
Yeah.
I love doing it. I was playing Super 6 before we were sponsored by them. So the fact that we're now sponsored by them,
I think we all were.
You think you'd be a bit
amazing.
better at it then, wouldn't we? Off the back of what happened to you on the weekend.
I'm doing all
I'm
right.
the champion.
I've come first and second, aren't I?
I've come first and second, but I'm the reigning champ.
Good prediction
Reigning
on the weekend for me, obviously. Fantastic.
Mate, I predicted the 2-2. Do you know what made me rocket to the top of the league? The 2-2 Liverpool Arsenal. Had that as I predicted it as a 2-2, which meant I romped home.
We need
But
to
we're
give a
loving
number,
it.
lads. I think we need to give a target number for this stream.
Can you please do us the honour of joining our Super 6 league? It
At
is
the
such
moment-
good fun. It's totally free. It won't cost you a penny. And if you get everything right, you win £250,000. And if you finish top of our league, you get £100 to spend at Classic Football Shirts.
We've got 2,800 members at the moment. Dead on. We
What,
want to hit
3K?
3,000
Someone
this
join.
stream.
Somebody join right now.
For
Make
every,
that,
for
make that
every
tick
Real
up.
Madrid
Hold your
goal,
mouth.
for every Real Madrid goal, we get one Super 6.
For every Real Madrid goal,
No,
I'll
we're
kick
gonna
Buvey.
We're going to get hundreds.
No,
Why do you have to bring violence into it? I want people to have loads of fun in a nice holistic way. Join the Super 6
Why
league.
is everything
Club S6.
holistic with you?
Yes, learn
Every
some new
week.
words. You've said the word holistic 6 times. We've been live for half hour.
We
Did you
do
hear it
need-
today?
I'm just
Do you know
trying
what
to
he's
get
got?
people
He's
to
got
join
that
the
toilet
stream.
roll with words on it. Like learns
Yeah.
a new word a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see what
Holistic.
he's doing. We need to get him a new calendar and that, like different.
Come on and
It's
go
called-
low.
I think it's called, yeah.
Always believe it.
Kante's a big one. I thought he's fantastic since he's come back. No? He's looked sharp relatively for 7 months of hamstring.
Yeah. I mean,
any
you-
team managed by Lampard's game.
But you know for do you know this start for him? Do you know this means that his last 4 Chelsea starts have been under 4 different managers?
Crazy.
Ridiculous. Like he didn't play virtually anything for. Like he started against Villa.
That man roars over
He didn't
here.
play against for Potter. Played 33 minutes for Graham Potter in his whole Chelsea. Like
We're underweight.
Come on, Blues.
Come
Like,
on.
You know, come on. Like,
I
you
was
know
about
if you're
to
Potter,
say
right?
that. I was about to go, go on, White.
Do you know if you're Graham Potter? Look, I have no sympathy for Potter. I think he's Chelsea's worst ever manager, right? But if you are Graham Potter and you're trying to be sympathetic to him, you'd look at that fact. He never ever was able to start N'Golo Kante.
Yeah.
Like that's huge.
And he had no number 9.
Well, he
Frank
did.
Lampard,
He had
man.
Aubameyang, but he chose to not play him.
I don't think that's a viable option for me.
But it's the most viable we have.
Yeah, you're right. I don't think... all I'm saying is he didn't have an Aguero in his prime, like Guardiola came in. He had Aguero to score 20
Do you know
goals.
what's huge?
He's
I
in.
love the fact that Lampard has dropped.
You know, in that time, 18 people have joined the league.
18.
You kings.
1-8. So that's
You
18
utter heroes.
Come on, lads.
Buvey.
Let's do
Love
it.
the community. Thank you. Thank you all so much.
And I want to beat Tom Garrett. I want to beat these West
Mate,
Brom
why do you
lads.
keep bringing up the rivals, man?
I do.
No, focus on what we've got. Stop promoting. You're giving free promotion.
Yeah, don't join any
Like-
other league. Club S6 to join. Club S6 to join on the app, okay?
How many people are watching this stream? Have we got any viewers?
Nope.
I mean, I know we've got
We don't have
18.
any-
Chatting to
You've
ourselves.
got no fans.
Just chat to my mum on a private stream.
You got no grand.
5.7k at the minute.
Thank you. Can you like the stream, please? I have no idea why, but apparently people always say that.
Can you
so-
sort the timer out as well? What's going on?
Do you know
There's no
Chelsea haven't
timer.
touched the ball yet?
Huh?
Me and Jack are fixing the graphics, all right?
Do you-
They're broken at the
Do you know
minute.
the game is
Mate.
1 minute 27 and Chelsea haven't touched the ball?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're luring them in, man. We're lulling them in. Full
Camavinga's
sense
playing
of
at left
security.
wing right now.
Oh, that Tottenham.
He thought he'd have to track back for Reece James, and he's just having a field day of his own. Here we go. Oh,
Game
Big
over.
head out.
It's game
Big
over.
head. It's all right. Look after it now. That's it. Oh, stop it. We're going to score.
oh,
Oh my God. Oh my
oh
God.
no.
Oh my God.
Oh
Get
no.
your shot off. Get your shot
Oh
off.
no.
Mate, come on. We're
That was
fucking
class.
brilliant.
Why did I make that
class.
bet? I'm so
Brilliant.
That was class.
Frank Lampard's blew away on me.
Too much space from Real Madrid. How's he in?
Oh, too easy. The
Oh.
Bernabeu, bring it. Mate, we're too good. We're teaching them.
João Felix
We're
has got that
teaching
in him.
them how
He's
to
got
play.
that in him. The one in the 5, run by himself, the solo goal. He's got that in him.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I
But
believe you.
Benfica, he scored similar kind of goals.
Velistic in the chat says, Rory, will you father my children?
Probably not. I'm having a vasectomy. It's going to be really tricky. You're a few years too late. No, I've got a vasectomy booked. Day after my
Seriously?
birthday. Yeah.
What?
Wow.
That's...
Start a present to myself.
Should we live stream
Why
from
is
the
it a present to you?
vasectomy clinic?
Because I'm really excited. Under normal circumstances, most people wouldn't be excited about having
Tony
a vasectomy.
Soprano was fuming.
Yeah, most people don't want a vasectomy. Because effectively, it's an operation on your bollocks.
Cowboy
Most people
didn't
don't
wanna do
want, and most people don't want
They
an
can
operation
swell
on
up,
their bollocks.
1 in 1,000 chance. They swell up and explode.
He's going to be that 1 in 1,000.
I'm really excited.
You are a lucky guy.
I'm really, really excited about my vasectomy. It's going to be amazing.
Why are you...
Because I only want one child, and I've had one child, and I don't want any more children. And it means I can have sex without the fear in the future. Because when I have sex now, I get a little bit scared. Like there's an element of fear, and you're not going to give your best moves if you're if you're scared
Scared of the
during sex.
repercussions.
Best moves.
Yeah.
What, like the interpretive dance you did last stream?
But you did one as well. Yours was pathetic though.
I was just doing a number.
Yeah, but
You did some sort of.
what was your...
You did some sort of dancing that you learned in college in
come on,
1986.
we're pissing them. I thought this lot
More
were meant
about
to be
Rory's
good.
vasectomy later.
Kante's fantastic.
Jao Felix is in the box. Oh! Nearly found Raheem
Wait till
Sterling on the back post.
Sterling misses an open net today. I cannot wait.
Ref, that's...
Real Madrid have problems with Chelsea on the counter
Mate,
attack.
we are just too good for them.
Have you just thrown a chewing
No,
gum?
it's a
at the
tennis serve. Come on, Blues.
Wow.
Bullied.
Wow.
Bullied. Didn't take the ball, but that was slightly problematic.
It's the most energy Rory's had for a Chelsea game in a long time.
I've not seen it. Yeah.
Frank,
Been
innit?
dead
We've
got a
inside
chance,
for a
though. We've
minute.
got a
Frank's back. It was Graham Potter
Look
who
at
killed
that.
me.
The other day, you got the game up on his
Yeah.
to watch the Wolves game.
Yeah. I used my VPN.
Yeah, I know. I've seen it.
I had to download something. Well, I got someone to do it for me, but I had to get something. I forget what it's called now. But I had to get like a
Yeah,
special
don't mention
thing.
it.
Come on, get your
Great
shots off.
build-up play.
Nothing wrong with the shots.
Can you stop?
Looking good. Looking good.
Mate, it's so easy in the Bernabeu. I told you. They're terrified
Lots
of
of
us.
space.
I told you. They're
on,
going to have
Vinicius.
to...
Oh, referee!
That's a dive. It's an obvious dive. Booking! You
for
was
that.
already asking for the booking.
Booking for that.
4
yeah,
minutes.
Thank you.
4 minutes booking.
Seems unfair to book that early. Like,
That's
don't-
Very
fair.
European booking. Do you know what I mean?
it's actually quite a good foul.
He was away, was he?
Have you got anyone on a booking today?
Yeah, loads.
Well, that's not a good start.
Loads. I think definitely Enzo Fernandez. I think
That's a-
Reece James as well.
It is a
He was a bit
booking.
flat-footed there for Fana, wasn't he? He made it quite easy. Oh, look how easy Kante does it. So easy. I thought this lot were meant to be
You
good.
missed Kante so much, innit?
People forget about Kante's legacy in the game. He's one of the best to ever do it in his position. And
Yeah.
he's been injured for you
Yeah,
for
yeah,
7
yeah,
months. That's
yeah,
a
yeah.
massive factor.
No, do you know what? There was a time when I would always argue Makalele. I would always argue, like whatever anybody would say, I'd always argue Makalele. And I think that's over. Like
Is
I think
it just
it is Kante now.
Makelele's longevity?
Like Makalele
Slightly
was
longer?
truly incredible, like truly brilliant, and it was all so easy for him. But I think that N'Golo Kante has eclipsed what
Oh.
Makalele did.
What a pass. Who was that, Cruz?
Yeah.
Oh.
Reece, wake up.
Oh, my God. That was a pass.
All right.
Oh.
It was pretty average.
I love seeing things like that.
Pretty
you know.
average.
What? A
Sprayed a
pass?
40-yard pass.
pinging it.
What a good pass.
It's a good ping.
Sprayed a 40-yard pass.
Just a good ping. I don't think we appreciate them enough.
I do.
Don't
I
see enough
don't
of
know.
it. We don't see enough of it.
I think we see plenty.
It's less now because of short passing.
Yeah.
Little triangles.
Little switcher play. Switcheroos are more common.
John Stones was doing that last night. He's
Mate,
Bayern Munich. Controlled
John
the game.
Stones was unbelievable.
Yeah.
We had a
But
conversation
at
about
the-
him earlier in the season, and I was a bit. I'm not seeing it, Booth, but I
my
am
God.
seeing it at the moment.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Especially for him to play in like that number 6 position, because as a
Basically a midfielder ahead of Calvin
centre-back,
Phillips.
as a centre back,
Nothing wrong. Put it
he
in.
receives the ball
Go on, Raheem.
side.
Ref!
Oh, Camavinga. Can we
Book
book
him
him?
then. Book him as well.
I got Camavinga to get booked. Real Madrid
Lovely.
-2. Yes. Now we need Real Madrid 3.
Lads, just do me a favour. Be totally honest here, right? What you've seen, I know the game's only 6 minutes old, but you didn't expect this.
No.
Come on.
No. I thought
Come
he'd
on.
dominate the ball. But
We are on now 28-70, by the way.
You're breaking so well.
Loads coming in.
28-70. Are we ahead of Pitchside? Oh yeah, I hate them. Ref, that's so bad.
Tom Garrett doing the West Brom game
He wants
tonight.
him booked again. By the way, West Brom are mugs, you know. Letting that 2-0
Yeah,
lead slip against
QPR.
QPR, you
Furious.
absolute
Although,
cretin.
do you know I always do love West Brom? I've got 2 reasons why West Brom will always...
away?
Good away day. Great old ground and that whole thing. I like going there. But the reason I'll always be slightly sympathetic to them. Firstly, Batshuayi, we won the league there. But almost more importantly, you know when Tottenham were going to win the league? You know when we genuinely believed Tottenham were going to win the league? Do you know what stopped them? West Brom went to White Hart Lane and won 1-0. And I will never,
Was that
ever...
an Olsen header?
It was it not a Hoof header?
Who was playing for West Brom then?
Yeah.
Not
Who
West
played for
Brom.
Stoke?
Oh,
and
no.
Leicester?
Who was it? Olsen?
I think it's Olsen. Oh, I might be
Olsen
wrong.
header.
Olsen with the long hair. innit?
Swedish lad.
Olsen header. Yeah, maybe.
Here we go.
Ah! You
was
can't
he
do
doing? Was he
that.
shooting?
He's had a
Overhit
shot.
that.
Yeah,
It wasn't
he's had
a shot. It was a
Do you not
shit
think?
cross. It was a
Yeah,
bad
no,
cross.
shooting.
He didn't hit it properly for it to be a shot. That was a cross. Poor cross.
That's
He was
terrible.
going for Thiago Silva because he was the only one moving. Camavinga
well-
booked good for my bet.
But yeah, I am angry with West Brom for that QPR.
But if Reading win this weekend, QPR got Coventry, they'll be in the relegation zone.
Such a shame that those
They're
6
one
points.
win- they're one game
Reading,
off.
if Reading didn't have those 6 points taken off, QPR would be in it.
Oh,
Nothing easy. Look, they're resorting to long ball. The famous Real Madrid. This is it. Long ball. Look at us tucking it. Lovely, beautiful. Look at that. Bang, 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 bang. They don't know what
That's
to do.
great for
They
Menzo.
literally don't know what to do. It's too easy. Free throw in, easy.
Lampard loves
I should have given you the
black
-1.
trainer with a white sole. doesn't he?
Everyone does. Every single football pundit in the world
yeah.
seems to wear those same trainers
Yeah.
that are disgustingly expensive and
Yeah,
awful
no,
to
What
look at.
brand are they?
They're Alex McQueen.
Yeah, Alexander McQueen.
Alexander McQueen.
Yeah, type
Made them.
stuff. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, no, mate, they're so dear.
Really?
They're so
How
dear.
much?
Mate, I would
You don't
never
wanna
spend
give
more
the
than
ball away there.
I wear Clarks, obviously, and they're quite, in my
Let me
opinion,
get me
dear.
new Clark.
But Clark we prefer. But trainer-wise, I just buy Reebok Classic, like 50 quid.
50 quid, yeah.
Mate, those trainers are a fortune. You've got to be
Classics
such
gone
a
up
mug
now,
to wear them.
70-odd
Yeah.
quid.
Huh?
Classics, man.
Yeah, no,
Mate.
no, but I don't mind.
I remember when
I go
I used to
on the website.
buy a Converse for $14.99 back in the day.
More
And now
than
they're
half-
like 49 quid.
K-Swiss.
I just like
No, I've
Re-
never
Re-
bought a
Reebok
pair of
workouts.
K-Swiss in
Reebok
my life.
workouts. I sometimes even get the princesses. You know, just the plain white bird trainers.
Bad trainers.
They're lovely. Can't go wrong.
Oh, God. Here's Kante. Chelsea are holding
He's all
the
over
ball
the
well.
place, Kante. He looks fully fit.
Mate, we're just too good for them.
I can't believe he's out for so long.
Mate, this
With a
do you know
hamstring
what? With this
injury, isn't that
performance,
unheard
here,
of?
you lot have got to be terrified about the semi. Go on, Oh
You were slagging him off last week, saying he was terrible. Raheem Sterling.
no! That's come on, mate. We had a very in-depth conversation about Raheem Sterling, where we spoke about how unjust it was to judge him. I didn't do that.
Yeah, fair enough.
We were talking about the fact that he's had more managers in 7 days. Have you heard this? Raheem Sterling, we were talking about it the other day, Buvey and I. Raheem Sterling, in the last 7 days, has had the same amount of managers as he had in 7 years at Man City. 7 days,
Crazy.
7 years. Yeah, so I literally didn't say that.
Maybe I can't remember.
No, said he didn't have a good game. But
Yeah, he
equally,
didn't have a good game, did he?
equally said
Terrible.
the reasons that he didn't have a good game are X, Y,
But he's the
Z.
kind of guy you want in this game.
Yeah, mate.
Pacing
Goals,
behind.
goals.
Yeah,
But I don't know
him and
about
Felix
goals.
is perfect.
I'd worry.
No, but do you know what? I got quite a lot of stick because a video resurfaced. I've got a friend who I think is a friend who's a Manchester City fan with quite a big Manchester City account who occasionally shares things that I've done in the past. He's supposed to be a friend, but I'm not so sure. And one of the things that I'd said is it was a clip that went round this week. I said that Raheem Sterling was the best out of the Mahrez, the Man City thing. Obviously, that looks like nonsense now. But there was a time when Pep Guardiola believed that.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not at the time when I was speaking, Guardiola agreed.
He started him as a false nine in a Champions League
Exactly,
final. Out of nowhere. He trusted him massively. He was fantastic.
And he was the go-to guy.
He's been unlucky. I can't express how injury-free he was at City as well. He was so injury-free. And now at Chelsea, he's been a little bit unlucky.
I don't think that is unlucky. I think that is credit to your backroom staff.
Right.
And maybe reflective.
Them trips to Barcelona.
And it could be reflective on what's going on at Chelsea. Like, is he getting the treatment that he needs? Is the training what he needs? Like, it doesn't make sense, does it? To basically never be injured for 6 years.
Go on. Oh, go on, beat it. I thought Kareem was going to smash it in.
Kepa goal.
Do you know what's interesting about Kepa Arrizabalaga? He, out of all of the players that Lampard didn't get on with in his first tenure at Chelsea, most of them have gone. So Marcos Alonso and Lampard really clashed. Alonso's gone. Antonio Rudiger and Lampard really clashed. Antonio Rudiger has gone. Kepa Arrizabalaga was obviously displaced by Lampard with Mendy. And yet Lampard has come back and put Arrizabalaga back
What's the
in.
issue with Mendy?
Not a very good goalie, man.
Is it
They were
dropped off
calling
that
him the best
bad?
goalie in the world about.
At the time
12
he was playing,
months
he had a purple patch that was truly brilliant.
He was terrible against Real Madrid
Oh.
this time last year. Made that mistake.
He was wonderful. He was wonderful for Chelsea, and he's wonderful on an international level as well. But
Is the drop off as bad as needing Kepa instead?
yeah,
Really?
But Kepa's no good.
Yeah, no.
But I think Kepa is a better option. I think
That's
Chelsea need
interesting,
two new goals. Chelsea have probably about 150 million quid's worth of goalkeeping talent at the club, and I think that we need a new goal.
Here we go.
That's crazy.
Vinicius.
I think Kepa Arrizabalaga is probably good enough to be a number 2, but I don't think he'd be happy with that. I don't think
Number 2 these days means cup semi-finals and stuff for Chelsea. That's not good enough. I don't think you can trust him in big cup moments.
No, because you wouldn't have to play him in semi-finals. Like you can play your number 1 in that, can't you?
You know, we'll play Ortega in the FA Cup
No,
semi-final.
but that's your blueprint. It doesn't have to be that.
Right, yeah,
like
yeah.
you
No,
could,
of course,
you could play Edison if you want.
You know what I mean? There is a tendency with big clubs to keep their second string
The
even
other
in
thing
finals.
is, at Chelsea, you're very unlikely to be able to get a keeper better than Kepa to be your second choice. Like, mate, you're in a very privileged position.
Of course.
Like, if you think about the number 2s like, there was a time when Karius was playing for Champions League finals for Liverpool, and they were good at the time.
Who's
Yeah,
that number
yeah.
1?
I'm not saying you link with any goalkeepers.
Mm-mm.
It's a bit worrying.
The one,
There's a lot
the
you
one
need,
that was
but-
coming up a lot at one point, you know that Gagnon style?
Magnan.
Gagnon.
Magnan.
Mag-
Magnan.
yeah,
From what club,
Magnan.
man?
the French. geezer.
Maig.
No,
what club?
G.
Marseille, is it?
No, I'm asking you, lads.
G.
Magnan.
Anyway.
Any lads in the
He
back
was-
room
I know how
with
to spell
access
it,
to
man.
Google?
Magnan.
Manganen.
Mangan.
Mike Maignan.
Manyan.
My mate Jan from Yeovil Town.
Mm.
Going to Chelsea, apparently.
Oh, is that AC Milan now?
Oh, Amy is a good keeper.
He's never been at Marseille. He was at Lille.
So just
That's
guessing
what I
random
think.
French
I didn't know.
clubs.
I knew who he was, but I thought he was still in France.
I remember
to
you
be
saying you
totally
used to
honest
watch the
with
French league every weekend.
you. Yeah, that's why I thought he was still in France.
Right.
Who watches the French league?
Adam said that one.
Do you?
I
watch
never
it?
said every weekend. I used to.
French league? You having a
I'm
laugh?
BT Sport, bro.
Sponsored by McDonald's, isn't it? Or
I'm
Uber
getting my
Eats?
most for it. If I'm paying for a package, I'm getting my most out
What,
of it.
watching Marseille versus Lyon?
Yeah. You mugs watch. You mugs were watching the National League the other day.
I
watched that too.
I'm not. That got more coverage than the Liverpool Arsenal game. On
Never.
Twitter.
It
It did on Twitter.
It never.
It did. It got more coverage
The
on
tweets,
Twitter.
Yeah, the tweets got
That's
more.
what I just said.
Yeah, that's nonsense, though, isn't it? Looking at a specific tweet and saying
No, not
that
one
got
tweet.
more
I said
attention. No, that's
general
what they
coverage
did.
on Twitter got more for Wrexham.
It was
It's
based off the full-time tweets or something.
I hope
like that, wasn't it?
Wrexham don't go up. I hope Notts County go up. They're a proper football club. Wrexham are not a football club. They're a toy for an LA actor. Okay. I hope Notts County, one of the oldest, I think the oldest club in the country.
Yeah,
I
they
hope
gave
go up.
Juventus their shirts.
Wrexham, I hope they get liquidated. Okay, Wrexham go down with their YouTube. I know the producer in the back room is going to hate that, but he's moved from Stoke to Wrexham, so he's as shallow as all of them.
Vinicius has gone down.
Oh,
Referee's
it's a
not
penalty.
giving anything.
Cheat.
They're going to check that.
Definite.
I think they
dive.
should check that.
It's going to get checked. It has to get
Definite
checked.
It
dive.
has to get checked.
I didn't see it.
That
I
was
don't
bad.
think it was a penalty personally.
They'll
It
bring
didn't
it back.
strike me as a penalty. They will look at it.
What?
Referee didn't flinch. Vinicius hurt himself. His back up though.
Oh, that would be a disaster.
I don't think it was.
What do you think? What's the worst result for Chelsea that's a good result?
1-0.
Yeah.
What? That's as
Like
bad
a
as
defeat
2-1.
by 1 goal is the.
What about two? Do you think two's too much?
I think it's over.
So what? Like a 3-1 defeat?
Chelsea haven't scored many goals this season, have they?
No.
So if they are going to win this, it has to
that's
be
very
like
true.
a draw here and something tight at
Well,
Stamford Bridge.
what score would
Oh,
it
I'd
have?
twat that.
Keeper had that covered easy. What score would it have to be for you to say that Chelsea are favourites going into the second leg? Like how many? So if Chelsea win this game by
3-0.
1,
Chelsea could.
Chelsea win by 1, still think Real Madrid go through.
I've
Chelsea win by 2?
50 in the second leg.
3-3.
You serious? So if Chelsea were to win 2-0 in the Bernabeu, you still think we go out?
Oh no! If you take a
I think
2-0
it'd be a
lead
bigger.
home,
I think it'd be a 51% chance.
nah,
at
if they
least
take a
that Real
2-0
Madrid
lead
get back.
home,
2-0.
2-0 lead home.
I'm not saying that because of Chelsea to wind you up. I'm saying because of what Real
Here it
Madrid
is.
did to us last season.
So you so
I've never seen anything
so
like
if
it.
Chelsea were to win this game 2-0, you're still going to say
I think
Real
we're
Madrid
getting
are
sucked
favourites.
into the narrative. At 60 minutes in, you've been fantastic. Mate, they could beat you 3-0 tonight.
16 minutes in for those watching at home without.
It was impossible before the game though. Lampard's Chelsea lose 3. That'd be silly. Do you know who's on the touchline? Do you know who's overseeing this?
Super Frankie Lampard.
Super Frank.
More reason
What
for them to
food's
get
that?
battered.
Why do we never
mate,
get invited
you
to
can't
the
do
food?
that. There's people watching this show.
Sorry.
You're just having a conversation going on over there. The
Sorry, he's
audience
brought his
have
own
no
food.
idea what
Sorry,
we're talking
lads.
about. So imagine if you went to the West End to watch a play,
Yeah.
and you're watching a play, and David Duchovny goes, "What's going on over there? What's going on over there, mate?"
Breaking the 4-4 might be, might be part of the
Kevin
script.
Spacey. Well,
I'm going to go back into the 4-4. We're going to cut to this one. We're going to say, if you're watching the stream, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Would really appreciate it.
why are you cheering?
Because we've got graphics. The graphics were broken. Everyone can shut up on the
Shut up, they were ahead of us. I thought they'd seen
The timer's on screen. Shut your mouths.
I wasn't slagging you off about that. I was asking about your
No,
food.
the audience were.
Did he ask for a penalty for that?
Yeah, there's just nothing in
can't-
that.
That wasn't the
down,
penalty
Vinicius.
incident. That wasn't the penalty.
Was it not?
No.
I don't know, mate. I don't know. Who knows? There's
It's
no
almost
graphics
like
on
you're
screen.
watching the game, lads.
Yeah, I love that. I don't know, mate. I don't know. How do you expect me to know? It's not like we've got the game on in front of us on a massive telly.
Did
That
you hear
looks
about
similar to the
Valverde
challenge.
at the weekend? One of the
No.
players for Villarreal said something to him about his child, his unborn child.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
And Valverde waited for him after the game and bossed him up.
And he's gone to the police, though.
Gone to the police.
He's actually gone to the police.
What, the other player?
The
has gone to-
Villarreal kid, yeah.
Oh, that's pathetic. You can't go to the
yeah.
police.
Nah, you can't go to the
can't,
feds.
But the
Right.
guy from Villarreal slagged off Valverde's
you can't.
unborn child.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
If the copper has anything about him there, the copper goes, well, you got what you deserve.
Copper fills him in as well.
Yeah.
'Cause you deserve it.
Deal with. Also, you shouldn't have called me, you gross. Yeah, so I'm going to beat you up for calling me.
Yeah.
Mate, that's a bad look for Villarreal. If you're a Villarreal ultra, you're feeling really upset with that.
Yeah, you want to go beat him up.
Yeah.
Withdraw the statement in the ultras. We say.
Withdraw the statement. Big banner. Yeah,
There aren't
yeah,
going to be
yeah,
many
yeah.
ultras.
Load of flares.
It's a village.
Withdraw.
It's a village. It's a village. How many ultras could there be?
No,
Like
but
saying Yeovil Town Ultras, about 6 lads in the village. You know what I mean? There's no ultras in Villarreal.
No, but Villarreal aren't
But
comparable to Yeovil.
that village went into the Europa League final and smashed Man
No, but
United.
That's one more European trophy than
Villarreal
Yeovil.
get
Meant to be
decent
the
home
biggest,
support.
by the way.
Villarreal
They're
get
a
decent home
village.
support. They're not a village.
They are. They're literally a village.
They're literally
Google it. They're a village. They're a village. No disrespect.
No,
I love
it's impossible.
Villarreal.
Okay,
It is
I'm gonna
disrespect.
Google
When they
it.
have Perez and
I'm gonna
Pellegrini and
Google it, 'cause
Riquelme, they're
it's impossible
Riquelme.
for them to be an
They're a
actual-
village in
No,
Spain.
you don't
Marcos
understand the
Senna.
definition of a
They,
village.
they are
There you go.
creating.
Juan Riquelme.
They're Why are you googling it? Your
You just
side's
you
playing in Real
You
Madrid.
literally told me to
Your
Google it.
side's playing the biggest game of the season. You're googling
told me to
random
Google it.
information.
You-
It's
What
embarrassing.
city are
Listen,
Villarreal
this is on film. You literally say Google it, and then I Google it, and you say why you Google it.
Well, your precious Chelsea are watching. Playing at
He's on Google Maps at the moment.
Yeah, that's because I pressed the wrong button.
No, you Google searched Villarreal, then you pressed map.
When I did GCSE geography,
That's it.
it was a village back in my day in the textbooks. It might have changed.
Nah,
They
bro.
might have changed it after the census or something like that. They might have changed it. But back
I don't
in my
think
day, it
someone
was a
from
village.
Bristol should be crossing anybody's village.
There's nothing wrong. Well, we're a city actually. We've got a cathedral.
So you have to have a cathedral to be a city now.
You used
in this
to,
country, yeah.
changed because
Really?
Brighton don't have a cathedral, and then they became a city.
That's crazy.
Jesus,
called an
conversation
education.
on the club.
Wonder what the smallest city is in this country.
I know
You ever
that.
thought about? Yeah, there's like
I know
it's
that.
trivia, pub quiz.
Corby.
Corby.
Corby is the.
Is that in Merseyside?
Nah, Corby it's where loads of Scottish people live.
Kirby.
It hasn't got a train station. It's the biggest place in the country without a train station.
So how do people get there? Megabus.
Drive, innit? Drive, helicopter. Don't know.
Oh,
Never been.
mega.
Can't get there.
Should we get a megabus up to Corby on holiday? Lads
Can't
holidays,
get there.
Corby.
Come on, Blues.
Over.
Offside. He's offside, no?
Real Madrid,
game over.
ale, Real Madrid, ale, Real Madrid,
over.
ale.
Is that not offside?
Come on, now we need who else to get booked? João Felix and 2 more Real Madrid goals, and I'm a bag of sand in the hand.
See,
Plus that 500 quid coming from you. That's 1,500 quid
That's
up
not
I'm going to
bad.
be tonight.
this is what I
That's
mean
not
about the
bad.
keeper.
Ooh.
He's not good enough for you at any level, in my opinion.
Shame.
You should never bet on your own club because when you lose, it hurts twice.
He's got to keep hold of that. Yeah, miles on.
So
No, that's not. Yeah.
I got Real Madrid -2,
Flicked
João
it into
Felix
his
to be
path.
carded, and Camavinga to be carded.
Adam, I need Kovacic and Chilwell to be carded for $6,000.
Oh, I need what I just said. Real Madrid 2 more goals and João Felix to be carded for $1,000.
Oh, he needs to push it forward.
Weekends.
Real Madrid, ale, Real Madrid,
I can't
ale,
believe that is
Real
better than
Madrid,
Mendy. I just
ale.
don't. I get your take on it. You see it a million times better than I can. I don't see how Kepa
Do you
can
know
ever be
what?
better than Mendy.
Mendy's
Just
just
6 games.
Mendy's distribution is so bad.
Yeah.
Like you just don't
But
have.
does Lampard need that for 9 games or whatever it is? 6 to 9 games.
I suppose. I suppose the other thing would be, you've got to be careful, like changing too much, haven't you? Like,
You could argue Kepa's brought 0 confidence to this back line for Chelsea. 0.
That's Todd Bowley's prediction gone live.
yeah, mate.
Were you genuinely upset about that or not?
I didn't think.
I thought that was
mate,
so
I
distasteful.
certainly wasn't upset.
It wasn't
but I don't
upset.
think
in the
yeah.
context of you're seeing your own.
Oh. Oh, what a save, Courtois!
That's the difference, isn't it? That's the
Superb.
difference. That's the difference in keepers.
Reece James with the cross. Raheem Sterling got across his man at the front post, got a touch onto it. And Thibaut Courtois with the save. Such a
It's a
good
great-
save as well
great
because it's really
response.
close to the post.
Great
Keep that out.
Great move, great
Reece
response.
James, good cross.
Oh, Raheem does everything right
Who was
there.
that defending there? I was good defending
Come
as
on.
well.
Mate, we should be good at these now. Set pieces, we should be good.
Militao defender, I'm not sure. Here we go.
Got to be better than that.
First man.
Benzema defending at the front post.
Got to be better than that.
Here we go again. He's come up.
Oh!
Interesting.
Thoughts on Frank's attire today? No suit?
No, he's smart enough, isn't he? He's not wearing a cap. He's not wearing a cap, and he's not.
I feel like if Potter wore that.
Nah. Nothing wrong with that. He's smart
It's
enough.
like a fleece, isn't it?
He's smart enough on it.
Yeah.
It's,
Who picked his wardrobe? James Corden?
he's not wearing it at a cup final. Do you think that the Corden thing? Do you think it's true?
Yeah.
I think
you?
it is.
Yeah.
Do you?
I've heard Ruth Wilson is doing your transfer strategy for the summer.
No, but
she is.
like in a totally.
I'm not even
hang
joking.
on. No,
Rob
because
Brydon, yeah.
in
sport
a
director.
totally non-banterous way. Because I probably think it is true as well. Do you think? Do you think it is actually?
I think
true?
I think we all work in the football media. We're never privy 100%. The fact we've all heard it from different sources, and it's
No.
the second
We
kind
haven't
of
No, but
heard
it's
it
all
from
come
different-
from the same source,
Yeah,
though.
but
It's
we've
come
all
from one
seen- We've all
source.
seen it. We've all
We've
heard
just
the
making things up.
No, but we've all seen it from
No,
different
no.
little sources on Twitter and stuff like that. It's not one person.
No,
We've
it
seen
is.
across
It's
the
an
internet.
athletic article.
There's two.
It's no
Yeah, but-
movie. It's
yeah, but-
literally from an
All right,
athletic
fine.
article.
You know why I believe it?
There's too many people
Because
saying
of
it.
who your owner is. I feel like, is James Corden a Chelsea fan?
No, West Ham fan.
That's the irony, but it's an LA thing.
He's a friend of Lampard.
It's an LA thing.
It's an LA
No, it's
media
a-
thing.
He'll be a friend of Lampard
Todd
and a
Bowley's
friend of
in
Todd
media.
Bowley's.
Yeah.
And therefore, I think it's possible. But if it was my
No,
club,
it's 100% possible. It's
my
100%
immediate
possible.
reaction would be that's not true because I just wouldn't want it to be true.
The trouble is, it's true in the way that, do you remember 4-4-3 and all that? Like, it feels kind of a bit like that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It feels a bit 4-4-3. It feels a bit Chelsea always play in the Champions League, and therefore they'll play in the Champions League next year.
Modric giving the ball away there. Enzo Fernandez.
Aye.
That was a foul on him there, I think. Someone did pull him back, but it's not been given. And now Vinicius is away. Come on, one more goal.
No, can't let him cut it. Oh,
Oh!
You're done.
you're done.
I think it! Oh!
What a clearance. Is that Thiago
Wow.
Silva? Was that Thiago Silva on the line?
Wow.
That was amazing.
That was amazing.
That was amazing.
If one of them didn't clear it
Ben
off the line.
Chilwell.
Red!
Wow, that's
Come
a yellow
on!
card.
Foul, that's
That's a
foul,
yellow
that's a
card.
foul.
They're getting nasty.
By the way, boys, there's a few super chats. One from Morgan Smith saying everyone's trim's looking fresh and sharp. Even Rory, looking good.
That's harsh.
Very misleading.
Rory's shocked.
That's
Yeah.
harsh.
And then Tejas Danny, I don't know if you boys have seen this because it's broken pretty recently about last night. Apparently, after the game, it's been confirmed. Mane punched Sane.
Oh, listen
he's
to
getting his food.
Stokey and everyone who hasn't been listening to our conversations. Not only
Sorry,
Stokey,
I've
but the
been busy
commenters
transfer.
as well. Absolute muppets, mate.
Yeah, although the thing is that could have come through before we spoke about it.
Nope. Nope.
But yeah, we have, and we've decided that Mane would win if they had a Royal Rumble.
Yeah, Sane,
Mane's harder.
Sane doesn't.
Mane's harder.
Yeah, I think Mane's harder. And I think it would have took a lot to get a reaction from Mane.
Yeah, he seems
He
to
was
be
shouting
really...
at him on the pitch. You could see it. He was shouting.
Was
at
it
him.
something that
he was
carried
saying-
on
he was
from off the pitch?
Yeah, it was like right. I think it was the final couple of minutes of the game, and Sane wanted. I think he wanted the pass from Mane.
He seems like
Mane-
a really nice bloke, Mane, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Like, I like the way that he would always jump in, you know, with the celebrations. You know, when he'd always try and copy the celebrations.
Yeah.
Like, he seemed like he played
Who
the
would
game
you
in the
rather
right...
sign for your team?
Oh, I take
Now.
Mane right now. I love Leroy Sané, but Mane's not worked at Bayern Munich. That's the issue. His age.
I think Mane will be
category.
available this summer. You know,
Oh yeah. He's not happy there. He's not happy
not
there. He's
sure.
not
you're not starting him off the bench in
Does Tommy Tuchel like him?
quarterfinals and that. Do you know what I mean?
Long term, would Tommy Tuchel like him as a player?
He's offside.
It's
He's
over now.
He's offside.
What was
he's
that?
offside. He was offside. It was daft. It should have
One more
earlier.
goal,
That was
game,
really,
the tie's
really
over.
bad in the
Should we do
midfield.
something else next week? Should we do, I don't know, bedtime
A Wrexham
stories
playing or anything, huh?
yeah.
Well, the
Wrexham.
trouble is we can't do...
QPR going
like
down?
we almost
QPR.
need this game to be alive because your game's over. Like, your game's dead.
But we could watch some really good football
What,
with
in what-
City in South,
No, but you
South
won't.
Germany.
It won't be really good football because you won't be going for it. You'll be worrying about your next Premier League game, and they can't win.
We could do
Won't
Milan
be-
Napoli next week though.
Yeah, that we might have to do
That's
something
still
like that.
0-0
Yeah.
as it stands.
You might have to do something
Or we
like
could just multi-screen it like Professor
Oh,
Setups.
Koulibaly.
that.
God.
He just felt so unsure then, didn't he? He looked
It's
like
game
Bambi
over
on
for
ice
Chelsea.
as soon as he got
Did well
anywhere.
there. That's like just rubber the green, that, isn't it? What are they giggling at over
It's
there?
pathetic. It's like a,
What are they
it's like
giggling
a wives
at?
meeting, isn't it? Like a
We're giggling at Buvey.
All I could see is Elliot wolfing down a.
Yeah, why don't you turn the camera on? He's not turning the camera on.
What are you giggling about out there?
Go on, what you got?
No, you got to wipe your mouth before you speak.
What a turn.
Look at
Find
that.
him out here.
Stay to that.
Oh, you've got to find
They're going to
Chilwell.
counter now. It's game over.
You've got to find Chilwell
I need
there.
Felix to get angry.
See, this is the problem with João Felix, right? Occasionally, he looks
Smash!
so good. Occasionally, he looks so good. He does everything right.
Who's that, sorry?
João Felix. Like, you can totally understand why João Felix is worth hundreds of millions of pounds. And then you can totally understand why João Felix is on loan at Chelsea when they're 11th. Like, in the same
you want him back?
moment.
In summer? Or is it just
Yeah, I do, because he's a very good
and-
player. But I'd say that we need 5 things before we need him.
Yeah.
Real Madrid, LA. Real Madrid,
If he
LA.
played Chilwell in there, or if it's shot, like, if you don't play Chilwell in, you have to get your shot off. Like, you can't do neither.
What's the best stadium you've been to, Raw?
San Siro, by far.
Oh.
There was one in Japan that was good as well, but the San Siro was... I went to San Siro when we lost 2-1. Kalu scored for us. Mourinho was their manager. It was the year they won a European Cup. They knocked us out on the way.
Oh, so it was an Inter game.
Inter, yeah. I haven't seen AC there, sadly.
I'd love to.
I went to Inter. Though.
I've seen AC there. I'd love to see a derby.
Yeah.
Obviously, probably too late now. But
Yeah, my mate,
I've
you know
seen
Jack,
AC
he went to
there.
the last...
Not against United, unfortunately.
He went to the last one. It was an amazing... It was Antonio Conte. Antonio Conte's Inter came back to win the game.
Nothing like the Bernabeu for me, though.
Haven't been to the Bernabeu, mate.
I went for Fergie's last European away. So good.
Mm.
So good. Danny Welbeck scoring.
What's the in theory the best one that you've been to that felt the most underwhelming?
Allianz, but I don't know if that was because of the way the game went.
It's in the middle of nowhere as well,
And then
isn't
we got battered.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember the volley.
Yeah, Allianz is possibly. The new camp's a bit of a
Yeah,
shithole.
Nou Camp's not particularly. Yeah.
It's just a shithole.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? It's probably like I understand. You know, when people go to Old Trafford the first time, I still think I get that wow factor. But I'm a United fan. But I imagine, you know, outside it's like not much to do. Not much. It's like that with Barcelona's just a great city. So that helps. But yeah, the new camp's a bit. You know what? Disappointed me about the new camp because I never went when we played them in 08. I went when we played them more recently, and it was like Spotify logos and all that.
What, everywhere?
Oh,
Was it everywhere?
It's just football now, though.
Stadiums like that shouldn't be like that.
It's just football now.
You know what I mean? Like the new camp.
Do you know? Look, everybody knows.
That was a good
ever
camp.
heard me talk
Andre
about
Felix,
football,
like, I hope it gets rattled.
right? Like, I have only antipathy towards Tottenham, but I will always call their ground White Hart Lane. Like, you know how they're trying to remarket it as a Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Do you know what that is? That's so that when they call it the whatever arena, there isn't an aggressive reaction from the fans because it hasn't gone from White Hart Lane to the brand. It's White Hart Lane. It's already not White Hart
And
Lane.
they want to give people the opportunity for it to be the Emirates Stadium,
The
for
first
example,
one. The first
rather
one.
than White Hart Lane's, you know, the Emirates White Hart Lane.
Yeah.
They
That
want
stadium
it to
special,
be.
isn't it? That's
No,
stadium special.
it's horrible. It really is. But it's everywhere, isn't it? It's like infesting
Although
the
people
game.
don't bat their eyelids at like the cricket ground being the Emirates Old Trafford.
No, maybe cricket fans do, though.
Maybe, but I just feel like it's more.
I've never
It's
heard it,
with football because it feels like the ground belongs to that club, so therefore the ground belongs to the fans.
Yeah, I do think it's a shame, though. I do.
Yeah,
I really do. Like, I don't know. It just
Even
shouldn't
look at the
be
San
that.
Siro. They're building a new one of those, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know, they're
And you know, in the
the
Premier League, I feel like we're a bit fortunate in that Man United don't have to take a multi-million-pound deal to get naming rights on a stadium to survive. Maybe now with like Barcelona need to do it because they're pulling all these levers. They need to sell something to Spotify and ACs and all that. Probably have to do it to compete with the Premier League, but especially like big Premier League clubs, you don't have to do it, bro.
No, especially
You
not
know what
now.
I mean?
That like the amount of money that these clubs have off the back of TV rights. But they always want more, don't they? And the trouble is, we're all kind of guilty because we all want our teams to sign X, Y, and Z. So it has to be paid for somehow.
What's the biggest then? St James's Park is still neutral.
Well, that was.
Well, I guess
that
Old
was
Trafford.
directed
Old Trafford is as well, of course. Yeah.
But in
But
terms
that might
of
change with new
Old
ownership.
Trafford will change when the new owners come in and they either build on Old Trafford and expand that.
it
or just
becomes
start a new-
Qatar Airways.
It'll
or,
be
Was that a
whoever.
damning indictment that you didn't get the nomination for the 2028?
No, I
thing?
think
Is that...
obviously I think the Glazers have underinvested in the stadium and therefore we wouldn't be chosen anyway because we've fallen behind.
for
But
what?
I think a lot of that comes down to
Euro 2028 bid. They didn't get it.
a lot of that
in
comes down
Manchester.
to they don't know who the owners are going to be. Is there going to be a new stadium built? what the stadium's even going to be looking
Yeah.
like at that
I
point.
think City
it might be
probably put
under
more-
construction again by
I
that
think we
time.
probably put more of an effort into the PR.
Well, it was
behind
made for the Commonwealth Games, isn't it?
Yeah,
Your
exactly.
stadium, so
We
it's
got
been
live
more
music there. And it's
more
more of a
modernly
PR
built.
thing. Yeah, yeah. And the surrounding area has been developed and stuff.
But it's like
Amazing.
Emirates and Old Trafford. Oh, sorry, Emirates and Anfield also wasn't selected. I mean, I'm not defending the Glazers there.
No, I know.
But do
chronically
you know what's really
underinvested.
weird about the Emirates? Obviously, it still feels like a new ground to me. I remember going to Highbury. Like the Emirates feels like a new ground, but it's not.
Oh, yeah, it's massive.
It's quite an old ground now, and also it's because of how these grounds have developed over the last say decade. The Emirates actually feels outdated.
Yeah.
Like you know that ring
Even
around
though a lot of people copied them.
yeah.
for, like,
Well,
the
it was the
way-
Stadium of Light,
yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
it, in Portugal? But you know that ring that they have around the middle, which I think at the time was pioneering. You know, the entire middle tier is corporate. That now is a disaster because what everyone wants now is one total cop, which Tottenham have done, and obviously
The
they
United have are taking out the corporate in the strip for them.
are they
There was a corporate strip,
right.
and they're taking that out now as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
just-
because it's not conducive to
atmosphere, yeah.
an atmosphere at all.
Go on, Benz.
Wow.
I thought that went in.
I thought any shot on target there goes in. I thought it bounces
that
off.
squeezed
I mean, he did
between
his best, didn't he? He did his best to
Didn't
not
look
not-
convincing.
exactly. Sort of ricochets off him. It hits him.
Yeah.
That's one of my. You know, when the ball loops and you don't know if it's looping that
Yeah,
way
yeah, yeah.
or that way, and you're
Oh
kind
yeah,
of,
you celebrate. You see
Yeah,
what
yeah.
you want to see.
Yeah.
If it's an opposing, like I remember when David Luiz scored against Chelsea in the Champions League, he's headed it and it's gone straight in. I saw it going the other way. I was like, yeah, oh what? And equally, when one of your players does it, you think it's going in. Like you just see it going in, don't you? It's not gone in at all. You just want it to have
The
gone
most
in.
United
heartbreaking
beat
one was Sterling at the World Cup. Remember that 2014 World Cup?
Yeah, against Italy in
near
Manaus.
Oh,
post.
when it hit
In
the side
Manaus,
net.
first game. Yeah,
I was jumping.
I think
We
that was
needed
more for
goal.
people watching on TV, right?
yeah,
Oh,
Where it
yeah,
looked
yeah,
like,
yeah. I didn't go to
Stuck to
that.
the net.
That one you
We
needed
played-
injections.
We
I didn't
played
go.
Arsenal in, I think it was 09. I think we beat them 2-1. And Arshavin scored a goal past Ben Foster. And it was a great goal. He smashed it. And I remember thinking that one's gone over.
Yeah,
Hooray!
yeah.
Oh, shit.
It's a disaster, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the worst.
What a spell he had, Arshavin. 6 months.
He was a
Unplayable.
superb player.
Scored
Superb.
4 against
And they
Liverpool.
had that Thomas Rosicky, who was a
Riziki.
And
Wow.
Riziki Club
Scored a great goal, Riziki, after about 2 minutes against Tottenham. In North London derby, I think Arsenal won it 1-0. And Riziki just picked the ball up after about 2 minutes, leveled
Real
it
Madrid
away
looked
from
good.
home as well.
Just as I say that, they give it away.
Need Sterling to liven up a bit.
I keep Enzo and Reece James have shared hair dye, so I keep thinking, which one? Who's that?
Yeah. Come
Vinicius
on.
here.
We need to get into half time now, I think. We need. This is a long way away.
They need that team talk from Frank Lampard
Yeah, exactly.
that no one ever.
Well, look how we started the game. Look how well we started.
What, having one shot on target? 45 minutes.
Come on. You can't say that Chelsea haven't played
I
well.
think you're doing all right that you're not losing 4-0. I think it's a minor miracle.
Mate, we're very unlucky not to have scored as well.
No, not for me. They're half chances.
What?
I don't
Well,
think
it wasn't a half chance
when
when
what João Felix?
Thibaut Courtois. No, the save from Sterling.
It was
That was a
partially
chance.
blocked by. Yeah.
That was a chance.
Mate,
that was a good chance.
I mean, it's not hard. Whatever way you look at that, it's
For
not
someone
a
like,
half
oh,
chance.
here we go.
The keeper is 6 yards
Reece
out.
James,
the keeper
yeah.
tipped it around the post.
Is up against Camavinga wide. He's got the ball into the box. Reece James out wide.
Unlucky for him.
Got to find someone there.
Very.
Like he did well, but there's no like it's really difficult, particularly against Camavinga in that situation. But you have to get it across. Once you've got into that position and players from the midfield have committed, you end up in this situation now. Like you've got to hold it up. You basically can't put the ball into Courtois' hands for them to break. Oh God, where is it?
The ball back from Vinicius was
Is that a corner?
poor there. Or
Jammy
Rodrigo-
Jam Jars,
Rodrigo,
we
sorry.
have seen your super chat. Jammy Jam Jars wants to know our opinions on Liverpool pulling out of the race for Jude Bellingham. We're gonna obviously save it for half time, but just have a little think on your opinions on that one, and we'll discuss that one in a bit. We have seen your super chat though, Jammy Jam Jars, and we will try and get through as many as possible. Half time coming up as well in the club live, brought to you by Super 6 as all the boys go on their phone. Chelsea 1-0 down. Remember, you can join our league, on the Super 6 using the code Club S6. I'm going to get an update on how many people we've got in our league right now as well, because we have got an important battle on with a channel we won't like to give you their name, because then that means you're one step closer to getting to their league. But our league has 2889. 2008.
Are we
Come on,
winning
lads.
or
for
lo- are
God's
we winning
sake.
or losing?
No, these lads are gassing now. If you're watching the stream, 3,000, please. 3,000 for God's sake. You're
111
gassing,
more
lads.
just have to join.
Are we winning or losing currently?
Go get your mum's phone. Go get your dad's phone. Download the app. Make sure they.
We're losing. We're currently losing.
It's too
Come
passive,
on,
lads. It's too passive.
They're 400 ahead.
Oh, they're faking it. They're
This
making
is a
fake
disgrace,
accounts.
mate.
Honestly,
This is. You know what this is? This is Theo Baker, like
yeah,
creating
fake
accounts and yeah.
bots and all that.
Can I do this? If you're part of Pitch,
Yeah. If you ever watch Pitchside, turn this channel off now. No, don't.
and leave. If you're part of Pitch Size League as well, can you just leave? No. We're not going to.
One way.
I told you, like
game
AC
over.
Milan.
You didn't tell me. I agreed.
Yeah,
You
I
can't-
agreed too, actually.
No, you didn't agree.
I
You
did.
said Napoli.
Benacer with the goal. Ismail Benacer. Algeria's Ismail Benacer getting the goal. 1-0 to AC Milan. It's 1-0
Oh, Reece
to
James,
Real
come
Madrid.
on.
It was 3-0 to Man City against Bayern Munich yesterday.
They've won
It
a
was
corner.
2-0 against Inter Milan. For Inter Milan against Benfica. So as it stands, the last four look like Inter.
Inter AC semi-final.
It doesn't look like anything
Amazing.
at the moment.
No, but
Like,
that's
they're 1-0
where we
up.
are.
Yeah, but it could be.
I mean, use like it coming back here.
It
So
could
that's-
be, yeah.
yeah.
But it also
It won't
could
be Chelsea. That's
All
for
right,
sure.
we'll go opposite. It looks like we're going to have Bayern Munich against AC.
My point is, it doesn't look like anything at the moment. It looks like 39 minutes into the game.
AC Milan's a great kit to get with your £100 retro footy
Ooh,
shirt voucher.
actually,
Unbelievable.
that is a
If you come
wonderful
top
shout.
What would you
every
go for?
round,
What era? 94 when they won the European Cup. They battered Barcelona that year, you know. They beat Barcelona 4-0 in
George
the European
Weah
Cup final.
era for me. George Weah.
Ooh.
Mate, I reckon
Late
that. I
90s?
reckon that year, 95 was Ajax. 94, Desai and Mihailovic and all that lot.
Ajax
When
got
did
some
Weah win the
beautiful,
Ballon d'Or? Do you know that?
Who?
When did George Weah win the Ballon d'Or? with
90s.
AC Milan? I'm just thinking of that kit, if you know what I mean.
When he ran the length of the pitch for AC. You know, he's a Chelsea legend. Have you seen my picture with George
He's a
Weah?
Man City legend.
Have you seen my picture with George Weah?
I've not seen that, no.
I had a picture of him when I was a kid outside
President of
Stamford Bridge.
Liberia, isn't
Yeah, I'm going to find it for you. Got
he?
it.
Unbelievable.
Got it to hand.
He came to Man City, Joe Royal benched him and he kicked off. He said, I'm leaving.
On his Chelsea debut, he scored a last-minute winner against Tottenham. Can you become more iconic?
He did something similar with City. He scored a great goal at Anfield and then he never played again. Did he join us first?
No, he came to us first.
Right.
Mate, you remember, obviously, think about who you were then.
Don't need to stick the boot in, for God's sake.
Camavinga's done really well, considering he's on a booking. He's been up against Sterling, who started the game well. I think he's done really well. Real Madrid are just so good, man. Look at
Wow,
that.
the transition.
Look at that.
The space now for Benzema.
Look at it. Go on, Vinicius.
What a ball.
That is a cross, mate.
Good.
I thought it was going to be a great ball. I was predicting a good ball from Vinicius, but it was actually terrible.
He's some player, though, isn't he?
Vinicius Junior.
Yeah, some player.
Yeah.
Where does he rank, though, in terms of...
Oh, he's one of the best in the world in his position at the moment, like world class.
So he's 23. I'm just thinking of similar Brazilian
The best
talent.
winger in the world, isn't he?
Yeah, he's certainly one of.
Who's better than him? At the
Is it just a statement?
Saka?
That I don't think... Is it?
No.
I'm not over romanticising the past, am I? By saying I don't think he's anywhere near
You know what?
early
Yeah.
2000s Brazilian.
You know, if Saka done this season
90s
like he
Brazilian.
is now, and he was in the Champions League as well,
Yeah.
and he was doing it,
Yeah.
I'd probably...
What, as a right winger? You
I
think
just
that's
feel
long
like
term?
when
He's a right winger?
Vinicius playing off the left here, but when Vinicius has done it in the Champions League,
Yeah.
has done it, I just think it's unfair to then go, I think Saka's had more
No,
than one
you
good
have to say
season
Vinicius
just then go,
Junior is ahead of him, but in terms of being ahead of the curve, Vinicius Junior is ahead of Saka. But I would say that Saka is now in this conversation because Saka next season will be in the
yeah,
Champions
because he
League.
plays for a huge club and he's doing
Yeah.
really well in the Premier League, of course, and he plays for his country as well, which is massive. But I just think we need to put a bit more respect on Vinicius Junior's name sometimes, and people start saying Saka's ahead of him and that. I wouldn't even put Rashford, you know what I mean? Rashford ahead of him, and Rashford's
Yeah, but you can't.
No, but
scored
anyway.
super amount of goals.
He's not in the conversation.
Rashford's ahead of Saka, so why wouldn't he be in that conversation?
Not ahead of Saka.
Of course, you're a muppet, bro. If you think if you think
Come
Saka's
on.
better than Rashford, you're a dickhead and you don't know ball.
Saka.
Yeah, facts.
Come on.
If Saka,
look,
if Saka had a season like Rashford had in any of these last 4 out of 5 seasons where he's bagged 20 plus goals, no.
He's maybe a better finisher, but I think Saka's a
that's
far more
got more to
intelligent
his
player.
game.
He's better off the ball. He works
Nah.
hard. He links up play far better.
No, he doesn't.
Better close control for me than Rashford.
No chance.
I think Rashford's a bit more of a flair player as well. Saka's far more consistent.
He's not consistent though. How is he far more consistent?
Saka's-
Rashford scored 20 plus
Saka's been-
goals in 4 out of
There's
the
an
last
argument
5
Saka's
seasons.
PFA Player of the
How
Year
is
this season.
This season, yes.
that's what I'm
You're
trying- that's
basing
what I'm
off
saying
this
this season.
season.
That's what I'm saying.
He's not better than Rashford, though.
For me, I'm not trying to wind you.
It's
For
a
me,
mental
is
conversation.
For me,
we
is.
did this before, and you all switched the conversation to other players because you knew you couldn't win. That's when
I know
everyone started bringing up Sancho. And
For me, it's not about
you
winning.
couldn't win
It's
the
about having a
conversation.
It's not about you getting too competitive. It's about having a constructive.
If you think Saka's
football
better than Rashford, you don't know
conversation.
ball. It's just that simple.
Rory, what do you think?
I think Saka's better than Rashford.
There's the geezer that doesn't know ball.
We're both idiots then. We're both idiots.
Yeah, you are.
Why are you on a Champions League stream when you're lot in the Europa League? Why don't you do Europa League by yourself and leave the football in the Champions League to me and Rory?
All right, no problem.
That's hilarious. What about the lads in the back room? Elliot and Jack, what do you think? Saka, Rashford. Let's just make it 4 out of 5.
I'm going Rashford.
Oh, you melt.
If Rashford played for Arsenal, they'd definitely win the league this season.
Jack says Saka.
He's an idiot as well.
Look, the point. This is
come on,
this is
game
obviously,
Oh,
this is obviously good fun, but I think the point that we were all trying to make, and I think we all agree, is that
Vinicius is the
Vinicius
best winger
Junior
in
is
the
the
world.
best. Yeah, Vinicius.
Saka's up there on form, probably second at the moment.
Yeah, on form, absolutely, it's Saka next. But yeah,
On
Vinicius.
form, what about Grealish as a winger? They both play the same position. Is Grealish number
They're
2?
slightly different.
Oh, it's a stupid question because of that.
Bernardo
Because-
Silva.
As a right winger.
Mahrez is probably the
Mahrez.
best winger at City.
He's the only one that is a winger, and everyone else has
No,
been
that's
played
what I
out of position.
Mahrez is the best winger at City, and Mahrez is unbelievable. I love Mahrez.
No, I think he's a class. Look, they're all fantastic, aren't they? It's Man City we're talking about, but come on.
Mahrez is arguably second in the world, actually. Winger-wise.
Didn't even start last night. It's crazy.
No, I couldn't believe he wasn't on the
As an
field.
act- in
Because
act-
also,
Yeah, I know, yeah.
you know that
naturalised.
front four that Man City had that was like driving crazy
That's
by
a
the
foul.
end.
That's a foul.
Like,
That's a free foul.
Alvarez on the same pitch as Haaland and that, all looking like, coming. You think Riyad Mahrez wasn't part of that. Like,
He's great for us in the Champions League as well.
he's a great player, Mahrez.
Yeah.
He's great. Do you remember when Arsenal had the chance to sign Kante and Mahrez for 80 million or something, and they thought it was too dear? Can you imagine how that
They
would have
would've won the
revolutionized? They would have probably.
There was a season where if Kante gone to any club in the Premier League,
They would have won the
could
league.
have won the league.
Yeah.
That's how good he was.
With Mahrez as well. And didn't they have the option? I swear at one point Arsenal were looking at Vardy as well.
Vardy was close.
Vardy
I think
was
Vardy
close.
was the closest out of all three of them.
Oh, yeah, a few shots for Kvaratskhelia.
Kvaratskhelia. He's. I love him. What? That's how you say it. Do you speak Georgian?
No, do you know what makes me laugh? Whenever he comes up, you always come alive. Like,
Yeah, but
it's like
do you know what it is?
because you know
Honestly-
something about him. Because he can pronounce it. He wants the world to know that he can pronounce it. And
No,
then
but
look, he comes alive. Look how alert you are.
My perception of football is that it's the worst it's been in decades. In terms of the way football's played. No, but
Yeah.
but
Because City are good. That's why it's the worst it's been in decades.
no, but what I'm trying to say is there aren't many players like him in world football, and there used to be 20.
I love
you
that
could look at.
Buvey's enjoying the most
way he-
success
the way
he's
he
ever
plays.
enjoyed. It is like football shit these days, mate.
No, but it gets to the point
Bring me
where-
back to the old days when
Do you know what, though?
fucking Man City
But
were in Division
I
1.
mean,
There is
the
something-
whole of football is worse.
There is a distinct lack. There is a distinct lack of like exciting, unpredictable
Ronaldinho,
players.
Kaka,
Oh, no, that's
R9,
because-
Henry.
That's because individualism has been coached out.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. That's why I think
Which is sad.
Like, if you look
property
at Jack
of football's
Grealish,
worse.
for example, now.
Yeah, he'd be.
He's
that.
one of a million. He's very rare.
He's now just, but he's still.
No, but he's
Joe
not
Cole
that.
at
He's,
Chelsea.
yeah, but
You know,
Jack
these
Grealish
guys-
isn't. Jack Grealish has all the ability to be that Maverick, Paul Merson, whatever. But he isn't that
No,
because he's
been coached out because
of it,
the team matters more.
No, there is no such thing in football anymore as a Maverick football. I suppose Lionel Messi is it. He
That's why
doesn't play a
Kvaratskhelia is so important for me because I think he's the one shining light in a world of football. He carries the ball so deep, he doesn't lose it. He's nutmegging people for fun. He plays football with a smile on his face. That's why I don't like Vinicius Junior because I still think he's a bit he runs the angles. I don't think he's a real trick. I don't think he's a street.
He's not a real street footballer.
No, I
trickster.
don't.
Are you
know,
mad,
Gabby
bro?
Jesus is for me. Gabby Jesus is very similar.
So do you like
The
Neymar?
skills,
I don't think it's the same.
Do you like Neymar?
Vinicius was born in these streets.
Yeah, more. But
I didn't think you liked Neymar. I thought.
Maybe I'm over romanticizing my childhood and the kind of Ronaldinho's of the world. What Henri could do with skill.
No, I think
Robinho,
you are onto something.
Skill.
I think
you've used the wrong example with Vinicius.
Vinicius is more drop a shoulder, move,
He's got
little
skills,
flick. Yeah,
bro.
he's fantastic. Of course he is. I'm just saying
I think he's the wrong player to use.
the real old school sort of showboaters of the world.
Yeah, the Mavericks. The Mavericks
More
are
robotic.
Gone.
Football is.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
That is football. It just is the case.
because you don't even really have Like at the time, I don't think we really saw Wayne Rooney as a maverick because he wasn't a maverick. But by today's standards, he's a maverick.
No, but I remember a conversation around him where it was, where especially as a Man United fan, we used to say you can't, when he used to blow his top and just go a little bit, we say you can't not want that from him. You can't moan at him for just sprinting back to the halfway line and booting fuck out.
But his disciplinary record wasn't particularly bad, was it? Or was it?
When it was bad, it was bad.
Right.
Like, when it was bad, he'd just lose his head and have a go.
I think as the tabloids just sort of hyping him up a little bit.
He had his moments on a football pitch.
Yeah, I think he was a very,
I remember
very
him launching the
footballer.
ball at Durso.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to go to the whole City.
When he was playing for Everton, he cut Cristiano Ronaldo in half, didn't he?
That was good, that.
What was the whole City
That's
one?
when I knew
where he
he
was
wanted
given a drop ball against Hull City.
Oh, yeah,
at
he
Old
went mad.
Trafford.
He went mad.
That was skinhead Rooney.
Yeah.
Against George Boateng.
Yeah.
In midfield, yeah.
What a
I remember
player
that.
Wayne Rooney was. What a player.
Yeah.
Unreal. Greatest English footballer of all time.
Yeah, I don't think that's challenged, though. I don't think, like...
No, I'm not, I know.
No, what I find weird about the Rooney conversation is people often go, he's not given the respect he deserves and all that. And I think maybe that's true on an international basis. Like, I think when you compare Wayne Rooney, you should really be comparing him to the very best who have ever played the game. But I think everyone's aware of his brilliance in this country. Like, he's England's top ever goal scorer, which is huge in itself. He was, sorry.
Someone's had a howler in the comments. They said, Rooney never played for Everton against Man United. Yes, he did, because I seen it and I was there.
People love to just tell me I'm wrong. It's because I said it.
You're right. Hey, Rory's definitely right.
Yeah.
It's a famous clip as well. So the fact that...
Yeah, he cut him in half, right in front of the tunnel.
Yeah, right in front of the tunnel.
tunnel.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Rooney was truly elite. I think if you were to say where does he rank, you're comparing him to the greats, aren't you? You're comparing him to Ronaldo. You're comparing him to Henry. You're comparing him to the very best in the game
of all time. Remember, guys, join our Super 6 League, please. It is Club S6 on Super 6's mini league section. Download the app on Google Store, Play Store, App Store, all that kind of stuff. We're going to go through Rory's predictions for the weekend. 6 games. On the round. Nice.
Thanks, lads. Really appreciate that. Thank you very much.
I mean, could you have got a picture with less filter on it?
Yeah,
it looks like he's got foundation.
It's just really important. Hang on, it's really important. Wait a minute. Knows. I didn't do that.
Have you predicted Funtime Frankie's Chelsea to draw 1-1 at home against Brighton?
There is logic. Do you want to hear the logic?
What, that you're crap?
No. The logic is it's very difficult to pick up points. Why are you taking a picture of that, you idiot? The reason I've gone for the point against Brighton is firstly because Brighton are good. Secondly, because when you play away in Europe, it's going to take something out of you. Yeah. So I've gone for the point. And also, our league form is completely irrelevant now. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and Lampard.
But a point against Brighton would be
good.
Can
we see them scores again, please?
Where's that photo from?
Where'd you take a picture of that? What do you want to do with a picture of me on your phone?
2-1.
What are you doing this evening?
I'm going to put up my Instagram stories. That's
Everton
make sure you follow me on Instagram.
He thinks United and Arsenal. He's gone for an Arsenal win this week, which is interesting.
I think West Ham are appalling, and I also think that Arsenal, off the back of the defeat, will bounce back, but it's more to do with West Ham.
But you've gone against you just constantly predicting Arsenal too.
Because I predicted them to drop, and they did. Yeah. And now I think they're a good team, Arsenal. I don't think they're going to drop twice in a week.
Do you want to have a little laugh at Buvey's picture?
Yeah. Now you're gutted. Now you're gutted, mate.
What event was that from, lads? What event was that from?
Is that his Paris Hilton picture? Or?
Yeah, that's from Neymar, I believe.
Oh, is it?
Let's talk about Chelsea versus Brighton. Yeah, 1-1 draw. I think you'd be lucky to get a point against De Zerbi's Brighton.
Everyone's gone for City to win 3-0 over Leicester.
Yeah, I'm seeing clips of Craig Shakespeare shouting at James Maddison on the training ground at a rainy Leicester City. I think they're going to be a world of pain with Dean Smith. But he's back in the thing with John Terry in the backroom staff. Yeah. I think Arsenal have to win this game. They have to win against West Ham. Obviously, the hardest ground in the country to go to, Nottingham Forest, away for Man United. I think they'll get a big victory there. Everton, I think Fulham are dropping out of the kind of, they're in the European discussion for a large part of the season.
Is Mitrovic back yet?
I don't think so. No, they look flat. And I think Everton they ought to capitalise. And I think Bournemouth at Spurs is just a step too far, but they've been fantastic and they could score. Billing could score, no question.
I've got a draw in that, I think,
Right, let's see Adam. It's just his standard picture.
He's a proper Ardnott, and Adam. Yeah. Streets of Birmingham.
Mate, Birmingham. That picture is very well used.
That's my confused face, I think.
Who knows what Buvey just said?
3-0 United, 2-1 Arsenal.
3-1 Chelsea. Brighton beat Chelsea 3-1, Adam.
Danny
That's
Welbeck scoring, celebrating a winner on the weekend. I promise you this. I've gone for a Spurs win, actually. You know what annoyed me? That win over Brighton. That was really annoying.
Yeah, it annoyed me. It was really annoying.
Because they did not.
Follow.
What do you make of all them? Thank you very much to Super 6, by the way. Join our league as well, Club S6. Let's
Yes,
check out the
make
numbers
sure
right
that you
now.
join our league. We are desperate for you to join our league. We love what we're building there. We love the game. We love playing. It's totally free for you. All you need to do is get Super 6 and join the club. Yeah, you win 250 grand as well. And all you have to do is get the Super 6 app. Club S6 is the code.
2954 at the moment. We're 46 away from 3,000.
It's unbelievable.
46.
It's
You get that by the
unbelievable,
end of the night, right?
Yeah, and obviously, if you beat us every round, you get 100 quid off classicfootballshirts.co.uk. Unbelievable. Join the league, lads, for God's sake. 3,000, please join. Come on.
If you hate Tom Garrett, join our league even more. Thank you. Club S6 on Super 6. The game's going to kick off again very, very soon. Buvey, Rory started this day off quite confident that they could get a result, that Chelsea could go there and get a result. We were kind of being a little bit more realistic, some may say. What the hell is going on there? So we've been a little bit more realistic and said that Real Madrid are going to win. Real Madrid are winning 1-0.
Yeah.
But at half time, do you think there's anything that Chelsea could change, potentially get something out of this? Because we have seen on a number of occasions they broke against Real Madrid and there's been a few openings.
I think it's about taking chances. I think João Felix, I think Rory said it perfectly, he doesn't take his chances. And if he's not going to have a shot, he's got to lay someone off. He did that. He could have done that to Ben Chilwell. I think if they can have a bit of execution, a bit of kind of decisiveness in the final third, I think they could score. We've seen it today. I just think the issue for them is the final 20 minutes, their legs are going. Someone like Kante's fatigued. He's only just come back from injury. I think Enzo Fernandez has been fantastic. I think he's been covering the ground well, but eventually gaps will open up. I've seen it for Man City. We're far superior to Chelsea last season. And we got in the final 20 minutes, they suck you in. They lure you in with so much experience. They know sort of how long they can wait on the ball. They know, how to keep possession in tight areas. They could easily score 3 in the second half. Do you know what I mean?
Easily.
And maybe they don't
I'm hoping
deserve it.
so because I need them to for my bet.
Yeah.
So
Where's
in
your
my
bet
bet,
at?
I've got -2 Real Madrid. So we need 2 more goals from Real Madrid. I've got Camavinga to be booked. He's been booked. And João Felix to be booked. So if João Felix can get booked...
He doesn't seem like the type, though.
No, he doesn't seem like the type. He played for Atletico Madrid, my friend.
That's true. Yeah.
Let's hope he's the type to get booked and Real Madrid score a few more goals. Or
What do
even...
you think the final score is? The way it's going?
I don't think my bet's going to come through. I think it's going to be 2-0 Real Madrid.
2-0.
Yeah.
It's not the worst. As long as it's not 3, I think it's over. I think 2 is the only...
2's over.
Do you think it's really?
You think... Forget home away.
I just think
whatever.
Stamford Bridge,
you
early
think
goal.
Chelsea
That's all
scored
I'm saying.
two goals without conceding? Remember, that's what's got to happen.
That's true. Champions League football is giving me some crazy narratives over the years. I just can't forget Drogba, Munich, let alone anything else Chelsea did that season in Europe. So,
But we reiterate, Drogba was a very good Chelsea striker.
Yeah.
They had Lampard. They had, John Obi Mikel. They had, the John Terrys of this world, Petr Cech. They had a spine.
yeah.
You look at this team. Yes, Kante's played all right today. Reece James, Chilwell, very good players. Thiago Silva. But does that strike you as a team that's solid enough? And do they have the tactical nous on the bench to get them through these games?
Well, how does this Chelsea side look if it was theoretically the same side, but you drop João Felix or Sterling, you got Osimhen up front, as an example? A big, or Harry Kane, someone like that, or Lewandowski.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
I think any man. I think Alex Ferguson would have struggled with it.
Graham Potter's probably still in a job, though. Do you know what I mean?
I think he is. They can't score goals to save their life, and that isn't.
But having said that,
a
on the
transfer
flip
strategy
side,
failure.
On the flip side, I know João Felix isn't the most prolific. Same with Kai Havertz. But you look at Havertz, João Felix, Raheem Sterling, Mudryk, who's been linked. Those players, and there's loads that I haven't mentioned, are all quality, talented attacking players. So there's no reason why you can't build an attacking system that creates a lot of chances and scores a lot of goals, even if they're shared out between the team.
Well,
you don't have to rely on one goal scorer all the time.
I saw it at City for back-to-back Premier League wins with a false 9. But
you look at Arsenal. Arsenal haven't relied on one goal scorer this season.
Yeah.
Gabriel Jesus gets injured, and you go, "Oh my God, where Saka's got double figures, Martinelli's got double figures, and Nketiah's scoring goals." But the goals come from everywhere, and it's because the team's a good team.
But we planned so well the way City did it. We waited for Haaland. We knew that was the right time. We waited 2 years without Aguero. Basically. that was everyone knowing their roles. That took a year where Liverpool won the league for us to adjust to kind of Aguero's decline. Chelsea haven't got that time. Chelsea needs if you're going to play without a striker, you need 4 or 5 years to adopt a philosophy where you can play a false nine.
Yeah.
Just shoving Raheem Sterling up front because he did it at City. It's not gonna happen. They have no patterns of play.
Yeah. We're gonna go on to the Bellingham chat. Sorry to cut you off there, Buvey. We've had a super chat from C Squared, who said, "Me and my mates met Rory on the train on the way back from York. Thanks for letting us chew your ears off for 30 minutes." He said.
Oh, mate, that was hilarious. Nice to see you, mate. Really nice to meet you all. Do you see the video?
I've seen loads of videos that you say. Yeah, they were hilarious.
Mate, that was terrifying. Right, I was on a train up north. I went up north for Easter. My missus from up that neck of the woods. And I'm on a train and it's all really calm, really quiet. I went straight from here.
Yeah,
it was on Sunday night. So after the game on Sunday, so I was really late. I got to King's Cross at, 9 o'clock. I got on a train at 9:30. Late. Nobody's on it. It's Easter Sunday.
Yep.
And I'm travelling, right? As soon as the train's pulled out of Peterborough, there's literally no one on it because it goes Peterborough, the next stop's York. Nobody at 10:30 is going Peterborough to York.
Yeah.
Train pulls into York. The next stop is it's going on to Newcastle and all that. Mate, there's nobody on my carriage. Literally me in the carriage. All these geezers get on, all about 20, drunk, so drunk. When they're lagging drunk. I thought, oh my God, I've got my earphones in. I'm watching some BBC scandal thing, right? Thinking, just hear that.
Catching up on the latest.
Rory. I was like, oh my God. They've come charging over. I'm thinking, I'm somewhere near Leeds, Newcastle. I'm in that neck of the woods. Leeds fans don't like me. Newcastle fans don't like me. I think, I'm about to get beaten up. There's nobody else in the carriage. They came over. They were all really, really kind, really nice fellas. And it was great to meet you all. And thank you for not beating me up.
Yeah, some of the videos were hilarious. Thank you for looking after Rory and not filling him in.
Not beating him up.
That's nice. We are going to start the Jude Bellingham chat as soon as Buvey gets here. The absolute.
You called this one though, didn't you? Wait.
We did.
Wait for Bellingham.
We'll speak about it in a bit. Yeah,
wait for Buvey
in a bit. What I want to do first, though, the people at NordVPN, they are sponsoring us yet again. NordVPN.com/the club. They've got loads of great offers over there. 30-day money-back guarantee. It's their 11th birthday this year as well. So they've got loads of birthday bonanza deals for you guys. As I've explained to you guys earlier on today as well, I was in Ireland over the weekend. I was playing a little bit of poker. I wanted to log into my Virgin TV Go. It kept telling me, you can't do that because you're not in the UK, so you can't watch Manchester United right now. But guess what? NordVPN on my device means that I could pretend that I was still in the UK and watch.
No,
Manchester
NordVPN
United.
is fantastic. We really implore you to get it. It's a brilliant thing. The NordVPN is so good. It allows you to watch TV. It's so affordable. It is comparable to the price of a cup of coffee. It also won the Best Invention of the Year 2022. It's a fantastic service. For all of your VPN needs, make sure that you check out NordVPN. The link is in the description below. It's NordVPN/the club.
You know where else it helped me as well?
Go on.
Because obviously I had to rearrange my flight, didn't I? I missed my flight back home because ran deep into the tournament. Didn't wake up for my flight early hours of the morning. He helped me get a cheap replacement flight.
It's beautiful. I'm getting flights to the Champions League final when we get there in Turkey.
Yeah,
I am.
Absolutely.
And NordVPN has helped me get the cheapest possible flights, all for the price of a cup of coffee.
And remember, one account with NordVPN allows you to connect 6 different devices. It's such a good service, so affordable, and there is no jeopardy. Because if for some reason you don't like it, you simply get your money back. There is a money-back guarantee.
Buvey, can you just say that sentence about you going to the Champions League final again? But just say thanks to NordVPN on it as well, please, because I'm just thinking when you eventually get knocked out by Real Madrid in the next leg, that clip will bang. NordVPN will be really happy with us, and then we might get a lifetime. So can you just say that?
If Man City theoretically lose and bottle the Champions League run in, and we don't go to Turkey, thanks NordVPN for sponsoring the club because I'll be watching another side in the Champions League final instead of Man City. So thanks to NordVPN, unbelievable.
Yeah, just completely did the opposite of
lads. If this game finishes 1-0, good result for Chelsea. Can Chelsea still go?
Yeah. We were saying that. I said 2-0. I think 2-0 is the final step. 3-0 it's over.
3-0 it's over.
You could go 2-0 score it at Stamford Bridge.
Yeah, agreed. Because come on, Blues. And if we score, if we could just get something out of this game, come on.
Second half has kicked off, baby. We are back underway in the second half at the Bernabeu. I can't. Oh!
That's a shame.
Camavinga nearly giving Joao Felix a chance there.
Like,
Just
Joao
sneaked in.
Felix, would you say that Joao Felix is supposed to be a world-class footballer?
He is a world-class footballer. Ooh.
He's not world class.
Is he?
Well, I think he's
Are
maybe
you on loan
just
at, are you on
below
loan
that.
at Chelsea if you're world-class?
Maybe he's just on the fringes of world-class. I think he has the ability to be a world-class
World-class
footballer.
talent,
He's
honestly.
a world-class talent.
Not seen it since Benfica, though.
Nah, he's
Got a
Long time
hat-trick
ago.
at
You know what it
Benfica,
is
yeah.
though, bro?
19.
He was very good for Atletico Madrid, but he
When?
was played to a system.
Can
And
you give
in
me a
that
moment?
system, he was refrained from being the player that people know and loved him for in Portugal. And therefore, I think that system and playing for Atletico Madrid was wrong for him. I think the
Did he
Premier
win the league with
is the
Atletico
spot
Madrid, or
for
did he
him.
come the season after
But
Suarez?
the
think
Premier
he was
League is
there.
the spot for him, bro. I think he's going to be he could be a. I'm gutted he's gone to Chelsea because it means we won't get him now. You know what I mean? Like, you're
I'm
unlikely
sure he's
to go
not
in-
going to United as well. You know, he's playing Champions League football.
I'm not
Nah,
sure.
It would have been class for us.
I'm not sure that I've seen much. What the hell is that?
Yeah, that's
What is that?
Shocking.
What on earth
I'm a
is he
big fan
doing,
of
Enzo
Chelsea,
Fernandez?
Anyway.
No, but what I was kind of coming on to say there about Joao Felix is that this is what it's meant to be, isn't it? Like, this is the day where he is supposed to get it right. This is the day where he is supposed to shine.
Mm-hmm.
Had a bit of luck here. It's gone our way. That's it. Just look after it. Start again. Well done.
better. Look at that.
Nice.
Mirage in the
Keep it
comments
moving. Keep it
has
moving.
said, can the boys discuss at Bonlahor saying he would pick Saka over Beckham and talk? So listen,
No.
I'm going to deal with this
No.
myself. Fuck Gabriel Bonlahor. The only reason, and we shouldn't even be speaking about him right now, the only reason he gives idiotic statements like that is so that he gets more clicks, he gets more views, and he gets more people speaking about him. What he's got to remember is people aren't giving you those views because of who's saying it. They're giving you those views because of what you're saying. So if you come out and say the most idiotic shit, you're going to get the most views. And that's exactly what Gabriel Bonlahor is. And I'll tell you a story about Gabriel Bonlahor that was told to me by a personal trainer in Birmingham, a very respectable, reputable personal trainer in Birmingham. He told me that Gabriel Bonlahor was addicted to Quality Street. Make of that what you will. And moving on from that, Rory, you right?
Wait, we're playing such nice football, but nobody's shooting.
Oh,
It's a true story.
No.
not the green ones.
Nobody
For God's
shooting.
actually, they're all nasty. the only ones.
It's explained his
The
brain.
gold ones, the gold coin ones.
His
They're nice.
brain
Toffees,
is-
toffees.
I think
A toffee.
I think it's a
he
very,
from Birmingham?
very weird. Yeah, he's Brummy.
Yeah, he's
I think it's a very weird thing to say. It can't quite be true.
It's a question.
someone said his
What, he
his first
sits-
name
what, he
should be
sits there and-
Rory.
That's harsh.
No,
Why
but-
did you have to say that?
Thing is, on anything that I've ever said, there is like, so everybody will say the Haaland thing. That was said based on something. I was basing it on Timo Werner. I was basing it on Timo Werner. I was basing it on players that have signed for Chelsea with big reputations that in the past haven't succeeded and they've taken time to acclimatise. It was completely wrong, but it was based on something.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but you're wrong.
No, it was
Wow.
wrong. Of course, but
Wow.
I mean,
Oh,
It's over.
You're gonna-
great defending from
you are going to be
great
wrong
defending.
when you do what we do. We all are often wrong.
Oh,
like the other
all-
day, Buvey was telling me that Mudryk was looking slow. He's the fastest player in the league.
Yeah,
Like,
you missed the point about that.
no, what I'm
What
saying
was the
is-
point? What was the
no,
point? No, what was the point?
That is different. You know, there's that quote from a
What was the
centre back.
point?
No, but can I explain before you interrupt rudely, as you always do? The stream was nice on the weekend when you went here in Ireland playing poker.
Ireland.
Yeah.
What was the point?
What was that quote? There was a centre back who came out. He was the fastest player in the Premier League at a certain distance. Yeah.
At one point, Matthew Upson was very quick,
Yeah,
wasn't he?
something
at
like that.
Arsenal?
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, go ahead.
Mudryk is quick, but he's not the same. He hasn't got that burst of
But that's not what you said.
acceleration
You said he
with
was
the
slow.
ball. No, people
No,
kept cutting me
not
off.
from there.
People
You don't
kept cutting me
shoot
off.
from there.
Mudryk's not Carl Walker quick, is he? He might be the quickest in the league because of some stat on Twitter, some idiot on Twitter. Is he quicker than Carl Walker?
I think he's the quickest in the league based off his pace.
Based on some criteria. I don't
Yeah,
think
his
he's raw
pace
pace on the
is
ball.
big.
Leroy Sané is quicker with the ball than this kid. Mudryk's slow
Leroy
on the ball
Sané don't play in
relatively.
his league.
I'm saying I've seen quicker players
Yeah, but
in the
Leroy
league.
Sané don't play in the league.
That's not the point. Mudryk's...
No,
mate,
you just said Leroy Sané's
Mudryk's
quicker than him.
dross.
Leroy Sané doesn't play in the
Mudryk's
league.
going to be the worst transfer in the history of
Maybe
sport
we're
that we
talking
all
about his
love.
pace. You said he was slow.
Between us, there's about 100 years of life on this table.
No, but we're
He's
saying-
the worst transfer of any footballer ever.
Do you know
100 mil for that?
I think you doing that as this like weird reactionary thing. It's so
It's not
weird.
How's it weird
No, because-
reactionary?
Because it's like
It's not a 5 mil gamble, Royce. Oh,
no, but you know when Jack Grealish wasn't looking good for Man City.
Yeah.
What I was saying to you is Give it time. You've got to be patient with these players.
It's
and
not
I was
comparable.
correct. Why not?
Because he's an England international. He played for Aston Villa 3 years in the Premier League. Even the time of the Championship, he was the best player in the Championship.
No,
These are serious divisions of football.
You've seen
Mudryk played in the Ukrainian league and he had 11 caps at international level.
You've seen.
He went for 100
Look,
mil.
mate, I don't particularly care about Mudryk one way or the other, but you've seen Mudryk play football 7 times in the Premier League and you've written him off.
For 15 million quid, I never would, but for nearly 100 million
No,
quid.
you don't know. You're not.
That's
even
the reason
for
I'm
free,
doing this.
Even for free, you wouldn't write someone off. The point is, the footballer. It's not about the money.
For me, that's the point. That's
no.
what I'm trying to
But
say.
you're not. When you're writing off the
talent.
footballer, you're not writing off the footballer because of the money. It's the footballer. It doesn't matter
I'm writing
whether
off
he's
the transfer.
free.
I'm writing off the transfer.
No, but you're saying
He's
that
got talent.
you're saying that you're saying that he is the worst footballer that you've ever seen.
No, I
whatever.
didn't. I said he's the worst transfer in the history of football. That's what I said. I've been saying it consistently for years. For weeks.
Well,
he's the worst transfer.
He's played 300 minutes of Premier League football. Can you not see how foolish this makes everybody round here?
Someone
look?
as well. Go
I know,
clip up, yeah.
I know it's a
Our
bold
first
statement. I'm
ever
not-
stream was
but-
Liverpool 0, Chelsea 0, yeah. And after 10 minutes of Mudryk playing, you were like, oh, this guy's amazing, you know?
Me?
Yeah, you.
No.
He made one run into
no,
Liverpool's
no,
box,
no,
and you're like, oh
No,
my
I didn't.
God, look
No,
at
I
this guy
didn't.
go.
No, I
Yeah, he
didn't.
did.
But Buvey, it's
You
just-
bounced off Milner's knee.
No, I remember. I seen it.
I'm not even trying. I'm saying it based on the fact that the talent from the kid is worth 20 mil, 30 100 mil for a guy that Arsenal didn't want to pay 70 for. That's what I'm trying
That's
to say.
not Rory's point.
He's got
though.
a bit of talent.
Rory's
Of course
point
he's
is,
got a
of
bit
course, he
talent.
might be overpriced, but that doesn't mean that he can't come good.
Grealish looks like 100
Everyone's
mil is a lot
over-
better because it's a 5-year
No,
deal
no,
for
no.
an England international. He's
But 6
marketable.
months ago, you would have been complaining that people were judging him based on his price tag rather on his
I think
performance.
football fans have got short memories. Nicholas Pepe.
Yeah, you
came for
included.
70
You
not-
though, you're
Nicholas Pepe
you are
demonstrating
football
that
fans.
short
The reason
memory.
it's a bad
You're
deal
literally
is because Nicholas
demonstrating the
Pepe
short
comes
memory.
in as a comparable example, a talented winger from a dead league. 75 million quid to Arsenal. He completely flops. There's no resale value. He does nothing for Arsenal. He's on a big salary. They've had to loan him back to France. He's doing nothing. That's
But
what
lots
happened to
of
Mudryk.
players arrive from leagues that you wouldn't necessarily think are particularly impressive and do well.
I'm not saying that either, but
Like Badashile came in and has done really well.
yeah. It's just my take on Mudryk.
Yeah, I know, but I'm
I like
challenging you,
Badashile.
and I'm challenging your take,
Yeah, of
which
course.
is
And
kind of what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, of course.
What I'm saying is, you're writing him off. You've seen him play 300 minutes football, and that's assuming you've watched every minute that he's played,
Right,
Nope.
yeah.
which you presume.
How do you know? What do you know I'm up to every
Which
day?
you probably haven't, right? Like,
I'm watching the French league like
do
you.
you not just think that it's? Do you not just think that it's
Use that
too
messed up
premature?
Koulibaly's gone.
I know it's a bit reactionary, but I just look at what I see on the football pitch. His awareness of the game, the kind of runs he's making, his first touch, I think is really poor. I'm not trying to slag off the kid, but if you attach that to 100 million quid worth of money, it's a really poor signing. That's just my take. You know?
Yeah.
I know you want it to work out. and
No,
rightly
no.
so.
I mean,
he's a talented kid. He's obviously maybe a nice
no, mate,
kid.
To be totally frank with you, I'm not. I haven't seen anything to suggest that you're wrong. I'm just the only thing I've seen to suggest that you're wrong is not enough.
That's true. That's where my argument falls down. I'm willing to commit early that I think it's going to be shocking.
Koulibaly's going off injured here for Chelsea. Looks like he's done
He's
his
been good today.
hamstring.
Is that sprint, wasn't it?
Yeah, against Rodrigo. So he'll be going off by the
Ah,
looks of things.
dear.
Who will be coming on then? Because Bajashile is not in the Champions League.
Chalobah on the.
Cucurella.
If you're watching the stream, you don't know who that is. That's Cucurella coming on.
Everyone knew
for
who it was from the
Koulibaly.
sigh and the giggle.
Just
Everyone recognised the
Just
sigh and the
checking.
giggle.
He can be your Cucurella.
I mean, I just don't. I really don't get it. Do you know? There's an example. You know, when Chelsea signed him, I did a video. I put it up on my channel. I was just like, "This is ridiculous." Loads of Chelsea fans were going, "You should have reacted like this when we signed a player. It's so obviously that we need him. He could play left side of a centre half as well as." Just like he can't. Now there's an example.
But you'd only seen him for a year at Brighton, so it's comparable to my argument, isn't it? In terms of the Mudryk thing, you've only seen him for a very short time at Brighton.
but mine,
and he was the best player at Brighton.
but mine was based. The reason I was saying that we didn't need him is because we didn't have a centre forward,
Right.
and we did have Ben Chilwell.
Yeah, that's true.
Mine was
Yeah.
based upon what Chelsea needed.
I think Man City. We were desperate to sign him.
You're
I'm
gonna
not.
you're really going for Chilwell. I've heard in the summer.
Yeah,
You're really going to go for Chilwell. Chilwell's class, man. He's
yeah,
so good.
I really like him.
He's so
Yeah.
good, and he. Like, I just think that he would totally
The way
balance
it's
out
going,
that Man
though,
City.
I think we need another centre back. Laporte's going to go. He's played less minutes than Sergio Gomez. I don't think Carl Walker can't get in the team. I can't
You know what's
believe
going to happen
I'm
at
saying
Chelsea?
that.
I've just seen it, boys.
Well,
I've literally just seen what happened.
Gone.
You like letting go Chilwell.
no, we're not letting go. No. Chelsea
but you
will.
said
You
he's
have to
gonna
bid 50,
No, Chelsea
60.
do not want
Yeah,
that
but
to
he's going to
happen.
go City.
I don't
Could
think
go
he will.
City.
I don't think
City
he will.
City
might
are
go
keen
City.
on it
Because of
happening.
this season, I
All
don't
right.
think he will. But
Conor Gallagher's probably going to leave.
Yeah.
Mason Mount's off to Liverpool. all your English players are going. That means you're going to need to buy an English player. That means you're going to buy Harry Maguire.
I thought you were going to say Kyle Walker.
Harry Maguire's going to Chelsea.
I don't think Harry Maguire goes.
You should
I mean, we
sign
do
his-
need centre half.
You should have signed yesterday Laporte.
Watch.
Yeah.
1,000,000%. You change your.
Yeah,
change your
You
club.
lot don't sell him to Chelsea now.
Nah. Although they've made mistakes. Like, well, not necessarily mistakes. They probably win
Harry
3
Maguire goes
trophies.
to
But
Chelsea.
he's on a big
You heard it here
contract.
first.
I don't know any club that Italy can afford it. Maybe Barcelona, Real Madrid, but I don't think they want him.
I don't think Harry Maguire ends up at Chelsea. I don't think he's good enough. I don't think that's his level of footballer. I think he's
You
probably ends up.
literally brought in
West Ham?
Frank Lampard as your manager.
Do you not think he ends
I'd
up?
say Harry Maguire is your level of footballer.
No, Harry Maguire isn't good enough to play for Chelsea. Do you not think that Harry Maguire? I feel like it's got Villa written all over it. Like
Yeah,
Villa,
Back to
are doing,
Leicester.
no, but Villa are doing well. He's good enough to
They're in
do.
the
He's good enough to go.
Newcastle.
No,
Botman and Maguire.
I don't think Maguire is a Champions League player. I think he's a Europa League.
I think he's just about Champions League. I think he's Champions
Hey.
League for the right side. Oh, Man United want to be in the Champions League on the ball. They want to be winning the
Yeah.
Champions League. I think Newcastle fourth.
Do you
know,
not,
in
do you
the
not think
groups,
that he
you
just goes to Villa and becomes their captain and they do really well?
Villa
with
and
it?
Newcastle, I think you're right, yeah.
Have you seen that Villa would be in the Champions League if the season started when Unai Emery
They're
took
doing
over?
so well.
By the way, Mings and Maguire would be the worst centre-back partnership I've ever
Yeah.
But you've
laid
been,
my
you've
eyes
been
on.
doing all right.
Yeah, that's a bad centre half.
That's the worst.
They
Although-
got Diego Carlos
got that
to come
Carlos,
back.
yeah.
Shit out of each other.
Fantastic centre back.
No, Fernandez.
Isn't that Lady Gaga song?
Fernando, isn't it?
No!
Don't call my name. Don't call my name.
It's Alejandro.
Oh yeah. What was Fernando? That was ABBA. Wasn't
I'm not your yeah, Fernando. That was our Torres song. There was something in the air tonight. We'll be scoring goals for you and me for CFC Fernando.
it? Have you gone to the ABBA tour?
No.
Yeah.
The VR tour.
Over
thing?
in the East End, over in
The,
Stratford.
yeah, what is it? It's
Yeah,
holograms.
it's at Pudding Mill Lane, which sounds like Middle Earth to me. It's an,
Yeah.
You know, it's an
Have you-
actual
have you
station
been
on the DLR. Yeah, I've been.
Is it good?
Yeah, so I went with my mum.
Okay, that makes sense. All right.
I might go.
It's good.
Might have a laugh.
Who you
A
gonna
few
go
drinks.
with?
Might take a date. Who knows?
You're gonna take a date to ABBA World.
What you
have
doing,
a few
Ad?
drinks. What is wrong with you, bro?
What?
What am I doing?
Yeah, what are you doing, Ad?
Why are you going
Ad,
to ABBA
stop,
World?
Stop. Ad, what are you doing?
What are you on about?
Huh?
Why are you going to ABBA World?
What's wrong with ABBA World?
What's right with ABBA World?
Mate,
ABBA, one of the most successful bands of all time.
He's like a
ABBA,
mug,
ABBA
mate.
have got to be one of the most.
ABBA World.
They are.
Who is the most?
Use like
Beatles-
are the type
Beatles,
to
no, I
queue
think
up for
it's
Madame
Queen, you
Two
know.
Swords.
Not
Yeah.
Queen.
I think it's Queen.
Do you know
The
what?
biggest-
This is
the
my
most-
shout, and it's like Queen, the most overrated band
Yeah,
of
I
all
don't really
time.
like Queen, but I think
I think
Queen. I
Beatles
think
are.
Queen are the biggest selling band in this country
Beatles
ever.
are the most overrated band of all time.
I think
not heard
Queen
one
are,
banger
Queen
from
are the
them.
biggest selling in this
Not
country
one
ever.
banger.
I was saying around the world ever.
No, in this country, I'm pretty sure it's Queen.
I've heard more Steps bangers than Beatles bangers.
You know, Scooter have sold more records than
Who
Madonna.
was Scooter again?
Scooter, the German club
Here we
band.
go.
Oh, God.
It's over.
Hey!
It's over.
Record!
It's over.
Alejandro.
It's game over.
Is it outside the box?
Oh, they're high-fiving each other. It's embarrassing.
That's not my name. That's not my name.
He had to do that, Chilwell, though, didn't he? I mean, it's a disaster, but he had to do it.
Fernando.
Right.
It's a bit, was it silly?
I think he
You
had to do
That's
it.
chilly, that.
Hang on, look how easy that is. Cucurella.
He's always running backwards in a
Cucurella.
kind of
You don't do it.
frantic way.
You know what? 2-0 down with 20 minutes to go with 11 men. Or 1-0
No,
down with 20 minutes
1-0,
to go.
1-0.
And he
With
can't play
11
this. And he,
10 men.
No, put 10 men behind the
But
ball.
it's
now.
probably going to be 2-0
No,
anyway.
mate.
and he can't play second leg.
And it could be 3-0, 4-0.
No. You definitely don't take the goal
Good
against
for my bet.
Real Madrid. Of course.
I hope
He might
Jack
not have
Felix
scored,
don't
though.
get taken off.
No, but he probably would have scored.
I don't. He was near. He was near
No,
post.
mate.
It wasn't middle of
Like,
the goal.
If they don't score from this, it's a good decision from Chilwell. Of course it is.
But he can't play second leg.
Yeah, but you deal with that then. You don't. You'd rather have no Chilwell and not be 2-0 down. 2-0 is over. You
Maybe.
don't want to.
Yeah.
Don't want to concede,
It's
mate.
tight.
Now we know exactly what we have to do. Don't concede here, and then just 10 men behind the ball.
I love
Wait
the
for
mental
the-
gymnastics of a football fan. And you know what? I'm with you because I do it as well.
No, but
you
that's
know,
right.
like, as soon as one thing, actually, if he do this and do that,
You make it
it's
work.
actually
don't
like
you?
that.
Make it work. Make it relevant.
It's
Whatever's
like
happened,
Arsenal
make
fans,
it.
like when they drew that game against Liverpool, they would have been doing
That's
like,
a better result.
actually, this
That's
is
a
all
better
right,
result.
Because
Yeah.
now City are favourites, so that means they can
Yeah, so
mess
the
up.
pressure's on them, and Europe, Bayern
It's
Munich's
like-
coming up.
It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
football fans doing it.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
start like it was working backwards.
But mate,
But really, this is worse
If
than
they
being
score
2-0
this,
down
I'm gonna.
with
I
30
can't
minutes to go. It's 30 minutes.
no, it's
to go.
not. It's not worse
Actually,
than being
I want
2-0. How
Chelsea
can it
to
be
win.
worse than
You'd
being
rather
2-0
be
down?
2-0 with 11
Of course
men.
you wouldn't.
Because there's
Yes!
I think that's going.
No, now just 10 men behind the ball, take it to the corner flag.
Who's that? Alaba. That was really
Oi.
crap. That.
Yeah, but next game you're gonna have Cucurella at left back at home to Real
No,
Madrid.
no, no.
and
There's
no
other, there's
Koulibaly
other,
at centre back.
mate,
Oh!
you work out what you do in that situation. Then you have to make the use of your squad. But what you're effectively saying is you'd rather like it'd be like when we won the Champions League, we had no Terry for the final,
Yeah.
but you'd still rather him make that challenge and then deal with the ramifications of it.
Am I being silly? I thought you got sent off for kneeing the guy in the back of the free kick.
Yeah,
That wasn't a goal denying opportunity. That wasn't
but they could have
preventing a
scored
goal.
from it.
You can't. Don't put a
could've
straight
scored from
face
it.
on me there. And by the way, this chance, I think you're blowing it up. They don't even score from
Oi,
this.
Yeah, they do.
referee!
Chilwell did the right thing there. Of course,
Send
he
them
did.
all off, mate.
But he's got a few super chats to rattle through. Sean
Chelsea are
Luke
getting
Doherty
rattled
says,
through.
Buvey, you worried about Real Madrid if you get them in the semis?
Yeah,
A good
of course,
tackle there. He
of
gets the
course.
ball.
Yeah, they beat us last season. I don't know how they beat us. It's one of those games.
You
I don't
shouldn't
know how
read
we
that
lost.
one out. You shouldn't read that one out. It's really disrespectful. You shouldn't read it out. It's incredibly disrespectful.
Okay,
we're still fighting here.
I'll read another one. I'll read it. Frank from Atlanta says, "What's
Frank
y'all
Lanta.
favorite poker hands?"
Y'all.
The ATL
Yeah, Elliot.
pocket aces.
Y'all.
No,
My favourite. I like
re-
a Jack 7 or Jack 8. If you're not talking about the obvious.
No,
Jack 8 suited, sexy, in the right hands.
Jack 10. I don't mind. Suited.
7s make me do stupid things.
I fold every hand to these lads because they
we could tell.
lock box me out.
And then lastly, Sizer says, "How highly do you guys rate Van Basten? Never hear his name
Yeah.
talked about when people say best striker."
It's
He's
the
one of-
injury, wasn't it?
He's one of those players you're never going to say like that, but you've grown up, especially like when we would have grown up, maybe not Buvey, like seeing those goals played over, you would have bought those VHS tapes with 100 great goals, and his goal would have definitely been on there.
Yeah.
So he's one of them that always has an impact and an influence.
I just think it was the injury that done him a mischief. Like
See, I can't
that
remember that
AC
being a thing.
No,
for-
no, we were way
because I
too
was
like
young.
we were way too young, obviously. But it was like
Say we.
just yeah, of course,
We.
mate.
You would have been in secondary school when I was in private school, I reckon.
Maybe. But look, overall, I think that he was,
Wow.
he was a class act, and his name certainly deserves to be mentioned among the best. And I would say that in terms of like European history, in terms of the European Championship, probably the best goal ever scored.
But it's like there's loads of players like that where you like I was watching a United game highlights today where Del Piero scores, and it's like
No,
you're
but
gonna
he's
get
the
asked
same.
about the great strikers. You're never gonna go Del Piero, but he's still one of the greats. Like we still remember him.
And the
fondly,
thing
like
is with him,
Inzaghi.
Del Piero was about as good as it gets because Del Piero stayed with Juve when they went down. So he was like a man of principle as
Remember
well.
that clip I sent you about
Inzaghi
Fergie talking about Zola the other day?
Yeah,
you like
loved
that?
it. Last year, I reshared it.
It's like Zola's the same.
Put it on my Instagram.
He's never
after you
gonna
sent
be
it to
your greatest.
me. He might be.
Like, but you know what I mean? He's
no,
not,
no, I know what
he's
you
not
mean.
going to be the greatest striker, but he's still going to be a striker.
But do you know what? That Inzaghi,
Not that I'm comparing Van Basten.
like
to Zola.
Pippo Inzaghi would probably be, just in terms of one of the best goal scorers.
Oh, mate, I used to want to celebrate like him, running up the
Yeah.
fence.
What
and
did
that.
they said something about? Fergie said something about him.
He's
said-
born offside.
born offside. Yeah. And also he won the European Cup, didn't he? Remember against Liverpool? It was him.
Great finish. Yeah.
He
What
won.
was that
He
other
scored.
saying
He
that he
scored the
had
two
about-
goals. He scored
When
the
an
two goals.
Italian says something, you look under. What did he say?
What was it?
Yeah, that mad say. I need to find it.
He
He's talking about
when Liverpool lost the European Cup in Athens in 2007.
Yeah.
It was Inzaghi's both goals, wasn't it?
Jermaine Pennant
God.
started that game.
Yeah.
Jermaine Pennant.
Yeah. Who scored for Liverpool? Was it Kite?
he goes.
Not Crouchy.
He
No, I
said
think it was Kite.
on Italian football managers.
Kite header.
When an Italian tells me it's pasta on the plate, I check under the sauce to make sure they are the inventors of the smoke screen.
Is that what Inzaghi said?
No, that's what Fergie said about
Oh.
when we played Juve. I think Marcelo Lippi was the manager at the time.
Did they beat you that year?
Yeah, I can't remember what year that specific quote's from, but we beat them a few times. I know that.
Yeah. No,
we had
but
them in the
that
groups and
I think you made it like a good point there. Del Piero is a player that probably should be held
Yeah.
in the highest esteem, but perhaps doesn't.
never, yeah.
Maybe Van Basten. Maybe like Rudhullit. Like Rudhullit won a Ballon d'Or. Do you know what I mean? Joao Felix goes off, and again,
Oh shit! My bet's in the bin.
Trevor Chalobah. That's a good sub.
No.
I'm seeing what you mean though. 1-0. If you score early at Stamford Bridge,
Oh mate, 1-0 is game on. Yeah.
Two's tough.
Two's really tough, yeah.
But I just don't know if he scores that chance. I don't know.
But 3, oh mate, he does. Or you,
he's near post and he's right-footed.
He's a professional footballer for Inter Milan.
Oh.
For Real Madrid, he's obviously likely to. Come on, mate. Chances
I've
are
seen
he's
a lot
against
of people
Kepa
miss those.
Arrizabalaga in goal.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Does Frank Lampard, if he has a good 6 weeks here, does he stay in the Premier League as a manager?
No.
I don't think.
Is it over and he has to rebuild?
I don't know. The problem is, I don't think he can take a job that I think could come his way, and the jobs that he would want to take probably don't come his way. The only chance of him getting a job that he'd want permanently would be to win this competition.
I think I could never know somewhere like West Ham.
Well, he could never go to West Ham.
You think?
No, West Ham would be like the one club, like their fans hate him.
Really?
Oh my God. I've never known, I've never ever.
But
Like, when you talk to, say, a Tottenham fan who, when a Tottenham fan talks about Sol Campbell, or if you talk to an Arsenal fan going to Tottenham when Sol Campbell was in the team, it was like deafening passion, hostility. I've never known anything like it, like Upton Park when Lampard was playing. And he'd always score against them.
I thought there would be some sort of respect there.
No,
That's interesting. Maybe
mate.
it's
No.
naive, yeah.
No, it's the most hostile atmosphere I've ever been in my entire life.
Yeah.
When Frank Lampard is playing for Chelsea against West Ham and always scoring, crucially.
Because West Ham fans think he should have...
Because of his dad. Because they think he should have stayed. They think he was only in the team because of his dad. Have you ever seen the Scott Canham clip? Do you know who Scott Canham is?
Yeah, with Harry Redknapp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he...
Amazing clip.
Yeah, what about Scott Canham? We used to have a flag, like when I was going on a lot. We had a massive flag with what about Scott Canham on it and Lampard kissing the European Cup.
That's amazing.
Yes. I like stuff like that.
Yeah. But no, honestly, Booth, like, don't get me wrong, John Terry used to get a lot of stick over at West Ham, as you'd expect. Ashley Cole used to get a lot, but I've never known anything like it from Lampard.
Did you know that he will know? John Terry's a United fan. That's close to signing
I didn't know that.
Schoolboy
I
terms
didn't
at
know
United
that,
at one point.
Well, he was at West Ham, like he was at Chelsea. He was at Chelsea from about 15, but he was at West Ham younger than that.
Right.
He was part of that amazing team. You know that ridiculous... Have you heard of that club Senrab over East London?
Oh, yeah.
It's,
the seven-a-side side, was it?
It's I think it's like a kids team called Senrab. And mate, their five-a-side team, if I remember rightly, like this is just the way that it fell when they were 14. This is their team. Rio Ferdinand, John Terry, J. Lloyd Samuel, Jermaine Defoe. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, how can that be a team?
Yeah.
Every single one of their team went on to not just be professional.
Hey, even J. Lloyd Samuel, hundreds of Premier League
seen that
appearances.
documentary about him?
No.
Crazy, man.
Yeah.
His wife, his 2 wives, actually.
I did I don't know enough about it to comment at the moment, but I read a review on it and it's...
Yeah, it's mad.
Yeah.
It's mad.
Yeah.
If you got, it's on ITV Player. If you're not in the UK, you can get NordVPN. Pretend you're in the UK. Get ITV Player on the ITV hub and watch the James
Fight!
Champions-
Come on, fight!
All right, Raw.
This is
Good
result.
Do you know what? This is now where we're going to find out if this Chelsea team are what they should be. You know, if what Frank Lampard has been brought in to do has worked, Chelsea. Oh, Kovacic! Do nothing silly, keeper.
Ooh.
Just fight for every ball. This game needs to now end 1-0. Come on! Mate, if this ends 1-0, I'm going to be so happy. Bring him back to Stamford Bridge. Definitely get the first goal and it's game on.
Who was a player, Raw, that you always wanted to sign that in hindsight you look back and think, what the hell was I thinking? Is there ever anyone?
What, a player that you just thought was always going to be the
reason
main
I
man?
thought, the person I thought of, and I thought that was maybe not what I was thinking because he was always a goal scorer, but like Darren Bent. I mean, when Darren Bent was at Charlton, I was like, United needs to
What
sign
a player
him.
he was at
He'd be
Charlton.
class if he was at United.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, I know what you mean when you kind of judge it wrong. Yeah, judge it early. Yeah.
Anyone?
No, nobody springs to mind like that. Nobody springs to mind, but I know what you mean. There are some players who you think are like so suited to your club,
Yeah.
and then 3 years later they're just.
I was like, Darren Bent, yeah, he'd be the next Andy Cole, man. Bring him in.
Yeah,
Score
yeah,
loads
yeah.
of goals with that.
Yeah.
He was a very good striker, to be fair.
Well, he's in the 100 club, isn't he?
Yeah.
Which is impressive in itself.
His
do you
move
know
at
what-
Spurs, though, makes it look mad.
Oh, Harry Redknapp's
Yeah.
comment about Sandra.
Yeah.
And the comment about Sandra. Remember when he missed that header?
Yeah.
And he goes, well, Sandra would have scored that. Those things follow you around.
Yeah.
It's a bit like the Andy Cole comment. You know,
I
the
know.
Andy Cole comment, 4 chances to score 1 goal from Hoddle. It followed him around. It may or
Even though
may
he
not
was
be
an
true.
elite
It
striker.
doesn't matter whether it's true or not. It becomes true because it just becomes true. Sandra would have scored that. Like, she wouldn't have. But
He wasn't. He was never a rubbish
Won a
player, by the
corner
way. But
here.
Patrick Kluivert.
We've won a
was another
corner
striker
for
I always
absolutely no
wanted.
reason. Come on.
Paddy Kluivert.
Oh, Kluivert, yeah.
He was
Absolutely.
class.
Mate, Kluivert at one point, I'd say, was one of the best strikers in the world.
No, he was.
Yeah.
He was.
90,
he was.
late
6,
90s.
7.
Throughout the late 90s.
Up until his like around that move to Barca time, you know, just before then, because we wanted him, and then we got York.
Yeah. An amazing team as well. You know, when they won he was obviously in he scored the winning goal in 95 when they won the... Yeah. And they should have retained it. Van der Sar, Overmars, the Boer brothers,
Seedorf.
Yeah, Jari Litmanen up front.
Jari Litmanen as well.
Yeah, it's a great team. But they were fantastic because they were all local as well. They were all part of that Ajax, and they should have retained it. 96, Juve won it, and
that was a dodgy one. That
was a dodgy one. Yeah, well, I heard Mark Overmars talking about it, and he was like, "We knew we were better than them."
No one talks about
it.
That.
Went to extra time. And he was like, "They just had so much more energy than us. I just can't work it out. They just had so much more energy than us. This shouldn't be happening from our corner."
Good recovery by Cucurella there.
I thought Vinicius Jr., you know how he stepped over? I thought he'd done him there. Just hold on now, 21 minutes.
When you see that thing on the patch there, Champions League patch, and it says 14.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Although a lot of them are... Look, anybody that's ever heard me talk about Real Madrid, I'm fully aware of who they are, the prestige, the iconic status of who they are, the Bernabeu, the Blancos, the Stefano, whatever. But the record is a bit misleading. For some of it, English clubs didn't even enter.
Yeah, then you had the free foreigner rule, which kind of also impacted it. Yeah. You had a lot of different rules at different times.
But a lot of their trophies were through the 50s.
Yeah.
The FA thought that it was like a pathetic trophy.
Yeah, it was Sir Matt Busby who said we want to do this. Europe. Yeah. United again, leading the way.
Yeah, so it is slightly misleading.
And then you had the great Everton teams couldn't.
Yeah, they couldn't play.
They couldn't go to Europe. So maybe they would have had a Europe, you know what I mean?
That's certainly the argument put forward that the Everton team were the best team in the world.
And I remember United, so we used to have to decide between, do we play Roy Keane, Dennis Irwin, Peter Schmeichel, all these great, because the Irish lads didn't count as, obviously they're not British, so they don't count. So you could only play 3 foreign players.
Was that the same for everyone though? Was that the same as the Spanish team?
Yeah, but we were more impacted than other teams.
Yeah.
Spanish teams, Italian teams would be predominantly Spanish or Italian, and therefore it impacted the English teams a lot more. Yeah, and especially if you've got Irish players who are also counting.
When did that end?
Probably about 95.
Yeah, 95.
Because then we got knocked out by Monaco, Dortmund when we shouldn't have.
Well, I remember you got battered by Galatasaray one year.
Yeah.
Cantona was fighting people, fighting stewards and all that.
Welcome to hell. Oh! 2-0 Real Madrid. What a goal. What a finish. That man, Essential.
And that's that. From a corner, man.
And that was all she wrote.
How can you switch off like that from a corner?
Fucking thingy's gone off, hasn't he? Shit.
Stop swearing all the time. It's not good for the old AdSense.
It's late into the video now. It's like they don't even check anymore.
Oh, look. So foolish. Look,
basics. Short
Vinicius
corner.
with another assist.
Oh, it's through
the legs of Fofana.
Could the keeper do better?
Through Fofana's legs, though. So difficult, isn't it, for the keeper?
It's his side, though.
Good finish, that.
Not to be too negative on him, but...
You boys are going to get your asses handed to it the weekend by Brighton as well. Trust me.
I think
because you know what now? You've got no Champions League games that your players are fighting to be playing in. You got none of that stuff. You got no Koulibaly. Bediashile's got splinters in his arse from not even being in the bench. You got Cucurella, who's hated by everyone.
No goals.
This team is going to get roasted. Brighton 3 points.
15th.
If you want to put your Super 6 in right now, Club S6, tap in, Brighton win. I promise you to tap in.
Honestly, do it now, lads, and make sure you join the club.
And
Club
ladies,
S6. If you beat us in your predictions and come top of the league every round, you get 100 quid to spend at classic football shirts. This Chelsea shirt is not a classic. It won't be when they come 15th in the Premier League this season.
Yeah. You're never going to see that shirt again. It is a howler, isn't it?
Collar's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I think when you make a shirt, there's just so many... There are just some rules that make it so easy. Like, just put a nice collar on it, make it look smart. and make sure that the badge is on the heart. Like they're just 2 rules and it works. Like, do you remember when the badge used to go central?
Nike did that for a
City
little
doing
bit.
that now. Do you like Arcade?
Adidas did it as well.
I don't ever think that a badge should not be on the heart.
Remember Gary Neville against Liverpool searching for the badge?
Yeah.
Where the hell is this match?
He went mad. Didn't he? Yeah. Right, over to the Liverpool fans on the corner, wasn't it?
It was funny because then when what's that?
No, it's all right. Sorry.
When we beat City 4-3,
Yeah.
we had no subs left. But as we've scored the winner in like the 95th minute, he's gone to pretend to do a warm up down the
Has
line.
he?
So
Yeah.
he could go
Love
like
that.
this to the City
Love
fans.
that. Yeah.
You see him
Yeah.
just start to warm up behind Fergie. You're like,
It's so important.
why is
stuff
Gary
like that,
Neville
isn't it?
warming up in the
Yeah.
96th minute?
And what? There's no. And we've used all our subs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good tackle in there.
Turn.
Yeah, go out of
Conor
nowhere.
Gallagher coming on at Bernabeu.
Conor
Someone
Gallagher.
once said he was better than Saka. I can't remember who.
Who said that?
It's just slipped my mind.
Can't believe.
Can you
someone would say
remember who said that?
No.
Who said that?
Me and you would never have said such a thing like that. I know that.
Conor Gallagher.
But the thing is, this is the weird thing, isn't it? Football changes. Like Jack Grealish, if you were having a conversation about Jack Grealish a year ago, you could be really snide about him, you could write him off, you could be really hostile, and at the time you'd be right. Now people would say that you were ridiculous. I always liked Grealish, so that doesn't apply to me. But when their performances improve, what can you do? Like, you then change your opinion. Of course you do.
I think it's when, and look, we're kind of in this game too, so we're always going to make some mistakes. And I've been responsible for these, so I'm not pointing fingers at others. I'm saying it about me as well. It's when you make like clear-cut statements that are like,
No, but at the
when I went, Liverpool have made Jordan Henderson their captain, and at the time this made sense. That's them never winning the league title. And then they go with the league title.
No,
Like
but
at some
the
point down
time,
the
it
line,
was
it's
true,
like,
though.
no, yeah, even Liverpool fans would have said
Yeah,
it.
at the time
Yeah.
it felt true. He then
But it's
proved
like-
you wrong, and you wouldn't have said that
But then
sentence
when that
again.
becomes wrong, it's so much more
Yeah.
funnier than
I
if you
can't
went,
think of one I've done
Who?
major. I can't think of a major one.
Oh, mate.
A
You
major one.
I promise you.
I can't think of a Haaland level one. For
You do them every
No, but
week. that's
nobody's
fine.
done it.
Go
No,
under the
no, but
radar.
Booth, nobody's done a Haaland
big.
level one.
Yeah, his one was Alan Hansen level.
Yeah, my one.
It actually is.
Modern day
Yeah.
Alan Hansen levels.
My one was Alan Hansen. Also, do you know what was unfortunate about it? It was on a huge show and therefore had the.
Oh, thanks.
No,
Thanks.
no. This
it's
mate.
cool.
If I said it on this show, it would
It's
be
cool.
huge as well. No, that's
all right, all
no.
right.
What I'm saying is, I didn't
We
say.
are sponsored by Super Six.
Mate, I didn't say it, mate. I didn't say it like I didn't say it on a bullstreet.
I know what you
video,
mean, I know what
did
you mean, I know what you mean.
I didn't say it on a bullstreet.
I think
video.
it's we all know you as well, and obviously
I love
all
how
the audience
Rory
does.
knows
I
I'm
think
joking, he's still
but
doing
you
it.
said it as a football fan, obviously with massive football experience and knowledge. You said it in. I think there are a lot of people in the football space that do a lot of gas shouts. You know, completely on.
But presumably they
I
mean
saw
them
what
at the
you were,
time.
where you were coming from, and that's why the moment's so beautiful. Alan Hansen was right.
Yeah, he was right.
He was right. That's the point.
Absolutely agree.
That's the point.
I absolutely agree. Also,
But it
you know-
also helps that he was a rival.
yeah.
Do you know if you're a fan of the team
Yeah.
and you go, we've got too many kids in the team, probably not going to win the league this year.
Yeah.
No one really blinks an eyelid because, you know, you didn't want that to be true,
Yeah.
even if you said it at the time.
But but you know when I said.
By the way, he's
do
Napoli
you know-
gone down to 10 men.
Do you know the other thing that I said there, right, which was, I said, you know, he won't score more goals than Salah. He won't score more goals than Kane. It's disrespectful to the establishment.
Yeah.
I was right. I was proved wrong, but at the time, of course, a new striker
My only
doesn't
thing
score
for
more
that,
goals than Harry
we
Kane.
never talked about it at the time because obviously, you know, we only see each other on the weekends or whatever. But for me, you miss the point of how prodigious his record is in Austria, in Norway even, and then Dortmund. The
No,
record
I
is
got
like
that,
a
but I
young...
didn't think that was
I
going
can't think
to.
of anyone that
no,
scores as many
I
goals as
got that, but over the years, like when Chelsea signed Kesman, he'd broken all records in Holland.
Kesman didn't do what... Because
No.
Haaland was scoring goals. Don't forget, he's got 33 goals in the Champions League.
But the other
and
thing,
he scored 20 of them for Dortmund.
no, but the
at
other
the age of
thing,
19.
that made me sceptical about the impact of the Bundesliga record was Chelsea had just signed Werner and
Yeah,
Havertz.
but then Werner's record again was probably a tenth of what Haaland's is in terms of
Werner
in
had
Germany.
scored loads of goals in Germany. Was the point? He'd scored loads of goals in
but
Germany.
not the same age.
No,
I
not
think
the
when
same
you do it at
amount,
a certain
but he's-
age category, you just become a prodigious talent. Do you know what I mean? You just know that.
No, but he'd
you know
scored
when
loads of
you know when
goals.
Wayne Rooney was signed from Everton. It was the surest. I remember as a kid. It was the surest thing in. It was the surest thing in
Yeah,
football.
it wasn't even an if, but
was
for
like-
maybes. It was like, that's why Fergie went, oh shit, Newcastle are coming, all right.
I want to talk about a
Needs
kid
that.
that I think is a sure thing. We had a bit of a debate a few weeks ago about this. I think he's as sure as Wayne Rooney from Everton. That's my opinion. Borussia Dortmund's Jude Bellingham to Liverpool is off, according to reports this week.
Which means it was never on, doesn't it?
Firstly, do we think he joins the Premier League this season? Is it right? And what about Liverpool in this
Just
situation?
Shut up a minute. Because wasn't it someone on this panel who looked dead down that camera right there and told Liverpool fans, stop getting their hopes up. You can't afford him. You can't afford the wages, the transfer fee. He will not be going to Liverpool, especially if you haven't got Champions League football.
Yeah, you did say that. Congratulations.
what's happened?
Yeah.
Liverpool, I got abused for that.
Not from me.
Not
You
from
didn't have to cut me
from
off.
a lot of Liverpool
I was
fans.
backing you up massive. No, but honestly, yeah, I think Liverpool, they're not in the world to sign these kind of... He's a superstar. For me, he's top 5 midfielders in world
I think
football.
the problem for Liverpool and Liverpool fans will be, and Liverpool fans will come out and say it, is that, and it reminds me of a move that Ed Woodward would have done at United, is for that the last 2 or 3 seasons, or 4 or 5 seasons, or in their time under Jurgen Klopp, they've not really strengthened the midfield. They've signed Arta and Thiago Silva off the top of my head. I know they brought in like the likes of Naby Keita and stuff as well.
Alcantara.
Thiago, that's what I said.
Yeah.
So they brought in
Silva.
Thiago and did I say Silva?
You said Silva.
Sorry, I meant to say Thiago. They brought in
fact-checking.
Thiago and the other fella Arta. And obviously Thiago's a fantastic midfielder. He's been injured a lot of the time. They've kind of delayed buying another midfielder on the basis or the proviso that they're going to get Jude Bellingham some way down the line. And I think it's always been obvious that that's not going to happen. Obviously, they could have Champions League football, but they usually buy to sell. Their net spend under their owners is 25 million a season. Do you really think they're going to splash the cash out for someone like Jude Bellingham? They've already shown that they won't back the manager as much as a Pep will be backed, as much as other managers from other clubs will be backed. They've already shown that they won't back him.
The problem
that's
is
where
as
the
well,
problem comes down to, that they've waited so long.
Yeah.
And they've
I
not
think
got him
I
anywhere.
can't speak for Liverpool fans, of course. My only small comment on it would be I think Liverpool fans would be really frustrated that a club of their stature, of what they've won with Jurgen Klopp, who they've still got in the dugout in terms of Jurgen Klopp. Yeah, Adam's 1,000,000% right. The strategy behind getting Bellingham, it should have been on top of a Declan Rice last summer. It should have been on top of a Tchouameni. You can't build a whole squad around Jude Bellingham and make that appealing to Jude Bellingham.
I also think
how's that
that's a
appealing?
massive mistake, because this was the point I was trying to make to you the other week when we had a debate about Jude Bellingham and to Rory as well. Like, I think Jude Bellingham is a fantastic player. But when I went, you asked me a question, I went, I'd rather sign Frankie de Jong for United, for example, because I feel like he'd be better for our system. And you kind of looked at me like I was crazy. I think there's this narrative that he fixes everyone's problems. That's not the case. He doesn't fix all of Liverpool problems. So I actually think their board have probably done the right thing in going, you know what, we're not in this race for him. We can't afford him. We can't compete. Let's focus elsewhere. There's rumours about them focusing on Mason Mount. And if they can get Mason Mount for free or a nominal fee, that makes more sense than spending
for them,
120 million on Jude Bellingham,
Caicedo
who
from
might not
Brighton.
even succeed.
Yeah, you get Caicedo with Fabinho as a replacement, that kind of thing.
And I think Bellingham's a
Mason Mount.
huge talent. I just think
Really,
it's a lot of money.
I think
It's a lot of money, man.
when you have the opportunity, and at one point it felt like Jude Bellingham was going to Liverpool. It certainly felt like Liverpool were the front runners for Jude Bellingham. When you have the opportunity of signing a player of that quality, I think you have to take it. Like moments ago, Buvey was talking about when Rooney signed for Manchester United, and then you came alive. I saw a glint in your eye when Wayne Rooney came up. You were like, it's a sure thing, it's definitely going to work, and it's who Manchester United were at the time and who they wanted to be going forward. I think that a lot of that is applicable to Jude Bellingham and Liverpool. I think that Liverpool have had this year, which is sort of a hiatus that doesn't feel right for them, and they need to get back on track. And I think the way that they get back on track is by signing somebody who is a statement signing somebody who's a marquee signing somebody that announces to the world that Liverpool are ready to compete with the very best. So by not signing Jude Bellingham, what it does is it means that Jude Bellingham either stays at Dortmund or it means that he signs for a club that in theory is meant to be Liverpool's rivals. So therefore Liverpool have conceded that ground. Say he ends up going to Manchester City. There was a time fairly recently, like 12 months ago in fact, Liverpool and Man City were neck and neck. They were literally the same. Liverpool had gone a bit further in certain cups and Liverpool had done a bit better and Manchester City ended up winning the league. They were the same. This season, the chasm between the two has grown. And if Bellingham then goes to Liverpool, suddenly Liverpool aren't even relevant.
But this is why I've always said I don't think he's going to Liverpool, because they don't back the manager in the same way other clubs do. They don't have the resources. And now it looks like, I know we've kind of flirted between will they make top four, will they not? Like, they're not going to make top four either. So you haven't even got the chance. So with all that being said, for them to then spunk their load on one player who could potentially come in, I don't think one player resolves that. You've got Jordan Henderson who needs to be replaced or like managed a little bit better. James Milner's going to move. You've got, what's his face in them? Curtis Jones probably isn't even good enough. Thiago's always injured.
They've had a lot
Arthur's
of
not going to be there. You think one man comes in and resolves that? So I think financially for their club, they're probably doing the better thing. The problem comes, you've chased him all.
But there are examples, Adam, of big clubs that have, look, again, 12 months ago, this nucleus of the squad, Van Dijk, Alisson, Trent, all these guys were two or three games away from a quadruple, right? So they've still got the quality there. The form's dropped off massively. It wouldn't just be Bellingham, but if it was just Bellingham, I personally think he's that good in midfield. If he was to stay fit for 38 games, he's that good in midfield. We just talked about Kante at Leicester. Kante went to Chelsea.
He's not a Kante.
I know. I'm not saying
he's not the
same.
Difference, is what I'm saying. I know you're not saying it's the same player. I'm not
that's your
comparing
opinion.
the
I
same.
completely respect your opinion about that. For me, he's that good. He's that good.
I think he can be that good.
I think he already is.
I don't think he currently is that good.
I've seen it firsthand against City. He was the best midfielder at the Etihad in the quarterfinal of the Champions League. Mate, he was 18 years old and he's only improved. He was the best midfielder
I think he's
at the World
amazing.
Cup.
I know. But I just feel if United had 120 million to spend on a midfielder, I'd go Frankie de Jong.
I get that for 10
right now.
But I think as a club,
if I could get two, I'd get both of them.
Do you know
but
what?
I'd go Frankie,
you may be right suggesting.
I think he'd be a great sign for City, by the way.
But you may be right suggesting De Jong over Bellingham in your very specific example. I don't know if I agree, but
it's like Valverde over Ronaldo.
For Manchester United, it may work. But nobody else thinks that, mate. Like no other club.
I don't know, you know.
Mate, if you ask a Chelsea fan, do you want Bellingham or De Jong? It's not even a question.
That's the point I'm trying to make. There's a hype around Bellingham at the moment. And I think the hype is bigger than the actual player that he is. And I do think he's massively talented. But he's not a Wayne Rooney. He's not a one-off. He's not a one of the kind.
Look, different positions.
I don't know if he is.
Wayne Rooney played further up the pitch. He was a striker. He scored these big moments. Bellingham's control of the game at his age, I've never seen anything like it.
Very good player. I just think calm down with some of the things that we're running around and saying. Some people again said top five midfielders.
It's terrible news for Liverpool. Whatever way you look at it, whatever way you look at it, it's terrible news for Liverpool.
No, massive.
It's like terrible news.
He's ahead of Camavinga.
Because I honestly believe that Liverpool, had they signed him, whatever you think of his ability, I think that he revolutionises that team. I think that team is suddenly fresh, they're invigorated. Signing him allows other players to sign, maybe players that are there, they elevate their game. Having him around, it could rejuvenate Jurgen Klopp. A player like Bellingham arrives and everything changes. He is the seminal.
He's not just a talented. I think the way you're approaching this is if Liverpool put all their eggs in one basket for Declan Rice. That's the thing. Bellingham's better. Yeah, Bellingham's infinitely better than Declan
Bellingham's
Rice.
a better footballer than Declan Rice.
He carries the ball better. He's got a goal in him.
But Declan Rice could have a better impact on your team because of the job he does. The job that Declan Rice does in terms of holding.
I respect your take on.
I think Bellingham's a better footballer. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
By the way, I just think the role that Declan Rice does
Can you give me
could be
five
more important to your
midfielders
team.
that are total centre midfielders, Steven Gerrard-esque?
You've got Cruz and Thiago.
No,
Cruz
he's
and
not a Cruz midfielder. The way he carries the ball, I've never seen anything like it.
No, I thought he was going to ask me about top five again. That's what I thought he was going to ask me.
Yeah, Cruz
I was
is a
going to say
deep
there's three
line
midfielders that play
playmaker.
for Real Madrid better than him.
We can't compare Bellingham to Modric fairly because of the positions they play. You can't give me a midfield. If Enzo Fernandez, and with all due respect, has gone to Chelsea for 100 million quid.
But don't bring in Chelsea's ridiculous transfer strategy.
I'm not. But
Chelsea's
it's market
ridiculous
value.
transfer.
Whether it's right or wrong, it is a market value for a central midfielder.
Question.
Bellingham is up there then, 200 million quid.
Let's angle this differently. We've kind of given our opinions on what we think it means to Liverpool. I don't think they're getting him. I never thought they did. You guys think they're missing out massively. And I think that's true. Both things can be true. If you were his advisor, if you were an advisor to him or his agent, where would you be telling him to go?
Man City. It's ridiculous, isn't it? But the answer to that, but Adam, this would be applicable to if I was the advisor or the agent of any footballer in the world right now. Like, it doesn't matter what the player is. Where do you want to go now?
No, but sometimes different clubs suit different players.
I mean, look, different clubs do suit different players, but Man City suit every player better than any other club. Like, I think Manchester United and Harry Kane is a perfect fit. But if Man City was available, it's Man City. I think Man City is the answer. Man City is... In fact, there's only one club where I think Jude Bellingham should be playing next season ahead of Man City. The answer is Man City, to answer your question directly, but I would actually say stay at Dortmund for another year. That would be my advice.
I
I think
actually think you're probably right.
Yeah,
I
I
think
think
stay-
Real Madrid he doesn't get enough opportunities to start.
stay at Dortmund.
depends what happens
perfect
with the
your
other lads,
craft.
doesn't it?
Like
Yeah,
the player that he'll be after another season at Dortmund, the amount of money that he will command, the stature of the player will be yet another year in advance, and he will be learning. Remember, he is so young still. Like, you know, we think of like I don't know. You think about certain players being young, don't you? Declan Rice. You think about him being young. You think Mason Mount's young. Jude Bellingham is so much younger than them.
It's like 5 years younger than these.
So much younger, exactly.
Surreal.
So he's
No, he's very
surreal.
good. He's an amazing player. I'm
My
not saying he's
advice,
not.
if I were actually counselling Bellingham, I'd say stay exactly where you are.
I-
This time
I-
next
I
year,
think it's a
Rory's
flip of a
bang on.
coin between Madrid and
Yeah.
City.
I take my Man City hat off. I think he's bang on. I think actually Bellingham would look at someone like Calvin Phillips. Look, different talents, of course, but he hasn't settled in. It's taken him a year. I think he'd worry about that a little bit.
No, but he'd look at
But I think
Rodri.
the
He'd look
role
at
that-
Rodri and go, well,
yeah.
he's settled in really well.
no,
so-
Rodri took a year as well.
But Rodri's
yeah,
first
but
season
he
he was
settled
flat.
in.
No, but I'm just saying,
Rodri
if
just
there's
took a
any
year.
nerves about joining Man City, if there were
But it
any,
always takes
it would
a
be
year.
about
For a lot of players,
you
it
know-
takes a year because of Guardiola's very specific system. It takes time.
I don't know Jude Bellingham's character. There's some footballers that want instant impact.
No, Jude
join
Bellingham
a
is
side.
Jude Bellingham is very like
He seems
down to
very
Copper and
Erling
that. He's
Haaland-esque.
very
Yeah.
But he's also
His
very
family's guiding
intelligent.
him.
Yeah,
What
definitely,
he's
yeah.
doing.
The other thing that you can read into his character, the fact that he was prepared to go to Dortmund, gives us an insight into the man that he is.
The way he commands in,
quite
That's
a
why I
brave,
wouldn't be
learns
surprised
German.
to see him go Real Madrid before the Premier League, because he'll know the Premier League move's always there for
You
him,
fucking.
no matter who's at the top of the tree or not.
But
you know.
does he start next season? For the first game next season,
He'd back himself.
look how the
though.
Madrid fans turn
And
on people.
he'd
I
back-
hate
no,
for
of
them to
course.
turn on him.
Of course. And Manchester City, you'd probably look at City, you go, the style of football they'd play, the coach that they'd have would make him better. He'd get to link up with Erling
loved at
Haaland
City.
again,
He'd be
Phil
loved at City.
Foden.
Do you know the one
You
reason
know,
why you may say, and look, I think he should go to City because he'd be incredibly rich,
As
he'd
far
win
as
loads
he
of
might go Real
silverware.
Madrid all day long.
The only reason why maybe
Prestige
Manchester City
worldwide.
isn't the only reason why maybe Manchester City isn't right, the only argument that you can make is when you think about what Jude Bellingham's best attributes are, when you think about what he's good at, he's a swashbuckling, commanding, box-to-box midfielder that can do it all. That quality won't be allowed to flourish at City.
Unless he plays as a winger, maybe. Like, you'd have to play out of position.
You
know, that's
where
where-
Jude
you know.
Bellingham belongs, I think, is it's not going to happen.
But
But
that's what Jude
you know,
Bellingham needs.
if he went to Liverpool, Klopp's swashbuckling, box to box, proper central
He'd be great for
midfielder.
Ten Hag as well in that system. Sitting ahead of Casemiro. So you got Casemiro sitting there behind him in the same role that he wants Frankie de Jong kind of to occupy. That number 8, half number 6, coming backwards and forwards.
But the
He'd
thing-
be unreal there for
It's
for-
just Man
for Eric
City.
Ten Hag.
Man City are the closest thing to guaranteed silverware that you can get.
No, of course. I'm just saying, which coach he'd look great for Manchester United. He'd be a great signing for us.
Coach-wise, I'd say Klopp. I think Klopp would bring the best out in him. I just don't think that it
I
suits.
think that's what's frustrating for the football world, not for me as a
I
City
think
fan.
Chelsea could be in for him.
Oh my God! Oh,
Do you think Chelsea could be in for him?
Mason Mount.
Liverpool's Mason Mount there. Oh, that was
What's
a
this?
chance.
Oh,
There's a
it was a
huge block
huge
from
block.
Rudiger.
Block
Is
from-
that Rudiger?
yeah, Rudiger.
What a block.
That was in, wasn't
Oh,
it?
he enjoyed that. as
That
well.
was actually in. Look, he's beat the keeper. Oh.
Was it in? It's quite close to
I
the
think-
keeper.
I think it
I
was
think
in.
he's beat the keeper at the near post, and the challengers come in. Brilliant challenge.
Huge block. Huge.
You don't want to play
huge
against a
block.
Rudiger, do you?
I did say block. What?
You don't want to play against someone like Rudiger, do you, in a game like this?
No.
He just came on as
Good,
well.
good
It's a
defender.
problem. It's a
Um,
big problem. 2-0 Chelsea to Real Madrid. It is still. Few people mentioning Arsenal as a possible destination for him.
I think
again, I just can't see that
you
happening for the
can't
same
laugh
reason.
at that. I think it would be a really good move. You know?
Financially, though.
I mean the logistics of it.
It don't make sense.
I think it makes an awful lot of sense for some reasons.
Financially, it doesn't.
No, financially it doesn't, but footballing wise, I think it does. If you think about young players go to Arsenal to thrive. Like Saka.
Thriving. Well, yeah.
Oh,
He didn't
Odegaard,
go to
right.
Arsenal. Like,
No, okay, young players thrive at Arsenal.
he'd look at Odegaard, I
or I
suppose.
can use players that go there, like Odegaard went there and has thrived. Like you can say young players
He's
either
better
go
than
there
us.
to thrive or thrive when they're there, and that could be something of interest to
Who
him.
were they
He's
linked
better
with
than that.
recently?
Caicedo.
Was it Caicedo?
In January,
Mm.
yeah, they wanted
Yeah.
90 mil, Brighton.
So they've probably got money there for a reason.
Oh, Arsenal have money, like never ever. It's a bit like Tottenham. You know when people say that Tottenham don't have the money, like Joe Lewis and Enoch and that, they're very wealthy. Stan Kroenke is like the money is there. Like if Arsenal choose to
You
not
just
spend
don't
it,
see them spending
no,
120
you don't see it. But that's a Kroenke issue rather than.
It's gonna be north of 120 million. 120
Yeah, but if
million
he joined
the, less,
Arsenal,
the,
it's another
the least
Dortmund,
you're
lad.
getting him
It's
for.
another
Isn't it?
Dortmund. It's another sort of fighting for things, not quite dominating. Half chances of winning things like Dortmund. He wants to join an established side winning things. And I'm not even. If I take my Man City hat off, I think a Liverpool would be the right fit. I almost want him to join a Liverpool to. I think that'd be a great move. I think that fits his personality for who he is as a footballer. That's my take on it.
I think he should go to Real Madrid and then come to
Mate,
death row.
he goes to
A little
Real
bit later,
Madrid
man.
and he's a humble guy and he gets chewed out by these
And he wins
selfish,
Champions League.
arrogant Real Madrid fans and he gets sat on
Look
the
at
bench.
Camavinga. Look at Chouameni. Look
The
at
thing
them.
is, though, don't you think Real Madrid?
Tchouameni's not even
Don't you
playing.
think Real Madrid is there for him when he's 28?
England's always there for him.
Yeah, but so what I'm saying is Real Madrid is where you go at your ultimate peak. Real Madrid is you don't go to Real Madrid at 21. You go
That's a
there
good
at
point.
29.
That's a good point.
You go there for the the final when you are the best that you can be. You've won it all already. You know who you are. You're a commanding player. You're
But if
established.
you come to England, it's going to be hard to get him out of England. Then you're going to have to pay a huge transfer fee unless he runs
but
his contract.
it's Real
down
Madrid,
somewhere.
isn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
It's Real Madrid. And also, if he wants
But
to
Real
go-
Madrid don't wait for no one.
No, I mean, if you think ultimately he has to play for Real Madrid at some point, there's no reason that doesn't happen when he's 28.
Yeah, definitely. The way he's good, but that's
It's like Erling
7
Haaland. It
years
feels like
away.
Erling Haaland will do that at some
I
point.
think
doesn't
he'll be at Man City in the summer.
Who?
Jude.
Yeah, I think we'll sell Calvin Phillips.
I think he'll. My bet on this, if you want to everybody now states their case. My bet on this would be that he starts next season as a Borussia Dortmund player.
I think Man City. And talking about your bet on this, it's fine.
Oh no!
You got paper? I'll take paper. We'll sort that out later. Make sure you're joining our Super 6, the Club S6. Download the app on the App Store and, of course, Google Play Store as well. Thank you very much to NordVPN for sponsoring the club today too. NordVPN.com/the club. We've got 2 wonderful sponsors in NordVPN and Super 6. Chelsea got 2 wonderful goals in the back of their net today. 2-0 down, away from home. They're going to bring him to Stamford Bridge. Is there any hope for a turnaround at Stamford Bridge? Because we're going to be doing it live next week. So
I think 2-0. Didn't we establish this before the game that 2-0 was the precipice where hope can still live?
If you score early,
2-0 is a scoreline where we can just about dream.
I just worry about your bench. Who can change the game?
No,
You couldn't do it today, and that's the issue.
no. Stamford Bridge
the
under the
atmosphere.
lights, but it's going to take something.
if we're saying this is dead, the good news is AC Milan, Napoli's not dead.
1-0,
It's 1-0.
1-0.
But Napoli will be at home chasing a 1-0 deficit. That probably means that'll be an entertaining game for us to watch. Next Tuesday, we are live. The new podcast was released today as well. So please head over to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, leave us a 5-star review on all those things there as well. Lads, any final words?
Absolutely none from me. A heartbreaker, a disaster. Like really, really gutted. But according to Buvey, before the game 2-0, I'm still allowed to dream, so I will dream.
Yeah, Rory's allowed to dream.
We dream the same dream. We
500
want
quid
the same.
making its way to me from Rory. Happy day.
I want 10% of that.
Thank you for watching, guys. We'll see you in a bit.